Okay, starting recording. Everyone's ready? Everyone got their notes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so starting recording in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Backlog Banter with your host, Serial K86.
Okay, we started recording, but let me try something different for this one.
Greetings, and welcome to a bone-chilling, blood-freezing episode of the Backlog Banter. I am your guide, Serial K, and tonight...
Okay, can't do this anymore. Fuck it. Shit, I can't
That really hurts your voice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, you good? You need some water?
Probably. You know, and I was holding back. I could have gone even more than that. You know, like a Dr. Claw voice or something.
Oh no! Don't go full Dr. Claw. That's like a real strain.
You never go full Dr. Claw.
No,
You never do.
trust me.
You never do.
Okay.
The French. No, I can't do it. Shit.
You know, if Doug Sparkish with us, he would probably give it a try. Whatever.
Yes.
So,
Anyway.
yeah, welcome to episode 15 of the Backlog Banter podcast, which may or may not release, comes out on Halloween, perhaps, like last year, because as of the time of this recording, it is the October 21st, October 21st, and yeah, it is Friday night, and this is what at least where I am in Otis. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do for tonight. We're recording for a gaming podcast.
Alone on a Friday night? Actually, no, we're not. We're working together. Doing this.
We're not alone in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I have two guests with me as usual. First one is Otis, aka MeleeMario720. Say hello.
Yo.
Yeah, we haven't had you since like what, episode 13?
No, it's been a little while, but then again,
No.
I'm usually spaced out in this.
No. It was episode 13, the one we spent 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one won't be that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 5 a.m. when we stopped recording, where I live. Anyway, so yeah, so that's Otis with us, MeleeMario720, and then the other guest is someone we hadn't had in a little while. He's a regular guest as well, and that is my friend and currently a VTuber on Twitch.com, Gumshoe Gamer. How'd it go? How's it going, man?
He invited me again. Would you miss me? Maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm at least back here, ready to talk about the Halloween stuff or something like that. Whatever we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we were probably doing for this one.
I totally didn't oversleep. Totally not.
You know, it is, to me, oversleeping at least is better than getting a little sleep. Especially where I work, especially when I get a day shift. When I get a day shift, I only get sleep like around 12 a.m. So I have to wake up at 5, and then at 5:30 I have to be on the road for like 30 minutes to catch the bus where it's taking me to work. That one is like another hour. So it's gonna so I can start my shift at 8. So it's a hassle.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I just walk around the corner. I'm not trying to flex here, but it's just like, oh.
How many days do you work?
2 or 3. It varies. I don't know. It's not really extensive work. It's more of a side thing.
Yeah, try 5 days a week.
Yes. No, I used to do that, and it was just like, oh god. Like if it was something I fully enjoyed, then yes, I would. I probably have no problem with it. But like this, it's more of like a side thing. The people are cool though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, my job is fine. It's just the commute's like the worst part of it. The daily
Yeah.
commute. Yeah. Yes, other than that, it's mostly fine. Sometimes it can get a little annoying and hard, but yeah, it's the commute is easily the worst part of it. But anyway, this is supposed to be a Halloween special of some sort. So I don't know about you guys, but to me this year, aside from the game I'll be talking about, I've been playing another game that recently started playing, Playdead's Inside. That's the only thing I've been doing, and I haven't got to finish it yet. So I was originally gonna include it with the game I'll be talking about today, but since I haven't finished it and there's a lot to talk about the game I'll be talking about, I won't be talking about it, unfortunately.
Well, it's really funny you say that because I was looking through what was recently been released, and there hasn't been a lot of horror stuff, which is very surprising.
We have some
We got
upcoming
Persona
stuff.
5,
That's about it.
but like outside of Scorn, which was I can't think of anything else that was released like a new scary game released in October.
We had announcements at least. Like,
Oh
Like,
yeah,
now-
you know,
a lot of announcements,
Yes.
especially if you
Well,
like.
speaking of that,
Yeah. Go on.
which one should we talk about first? Because there's like
The one by the
I guess
company
we
no
can
one
talk
likes.
about the Konami ones, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of.
They're
Yeah,
actually publishing games again. Wow.
yeah. The
Someone woke them up and they're like, "Oh right, I guess what do we do? Game company? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I guess
yeah.
we should."
So
let's
probably
not
make a
make
game.
one game. Let's
But-
make several and make two of them very vague.
yeah, a town about a slightly higher place, a quiet side, high place.
Quiet Mountain.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Quiet Mountain, yes.
Yes. Oh yeah. So not only one, like 3 of them. So
Well, yeah, four games.
is it 4?
Yeah, one which
Well,
was
the
a
thing is,
remake
game
of the
is
second
faithful
game.
with one of them.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's really the only one that we know any sort of good information on. The other two, I just label them as teaser announcements of, hey, this is a thing that we're working on. All
Yeah.
right, bye.
And none of them developed internally by Konami because Konami don't develop their own games anymore.
Nope.
Honestly, it's for the best.
It is, yeah, because they're not capable of doing so.
Well,
Um,
I think it's just more they just have no interest. They
No.
really don't have an
They
interest in doing that.
they waste all their bucks on pachinko.
And it,
other-
Well, it's that, and Konami still owns like the Yu-Gi-Oh series, right?
yeah, that's
Or
I
yeah.
forgot they even did that.
yeah.
see, so like they have other means of profit where like games is probably like to them like, we don't need to do that. We don't
Yeah.
need to spend money making that. So
Yeah.
at
I
the
mean-
very least, they're doing the thing that I think most of us have wanted them to do is just license your IPs out, just give them to other people, just do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
A few more, maybe. Anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah, so the one that most people are cited for, so that's Silent Hill 2, and it's like, well, about time.
Yeah.
Felt
Developed
like it should have happened sooner.
by Blooper Team. What are your thoughts on that? Let's start with.
I've never heard of them.
you-
They have a funny name. Sounds like Blooper.
Yeah.
I know apparently people are kind of complaining about that because it was they made something called Layers of Fear, and I've never played it, but I've seen one clip by the Twitch
Wait, that's the
team
Layers
German.
of Fear developers?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
and okay, so there's a really funny clip streamed by Germa, who's like a big Twitch streamer.
Yes.
Of like him chasing a baby around a hallway several times, and the baby just thunks into the wall, and it's really funny.
Yeah, and it's slow
Oh yeah,
motion.
no,
like that.
Worry.
Layers of Fear had such a buggy launch, and I mean, I think right now they're with the definitive edition when that got released, it's a bit patched
made a
up and everything.
sequel.
But yeah,
Oh, didn't they?
Yeah. And they worked on the Layers of Fear duology, I think it is. I think there's more
yeah,
than
because
one.
there is a second one that no
The-
one talks about.
Yeah, the only thing I saw from the layers about anything related to Laser Fear was the Angry Joe review. That's it.
But yeah, it wasn't particularly well received. I think that's the best way to put it. There are people that generally like the game, so I'm not trying to say that it was like panned 100%, but for most people, they were either like, it's fine.
So lukewarm to
So,
mixed, maybe.
Yeah, lukewarm to mixed. If we're talking just general, but again, it does have some fans for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
they also made another game that's the one that's people complaining about called The Medium.
Never heard of that one.
Oh, I think that's the one. I think I know about that.
Without going to spoilers, okay.
That's the Xbox exclusive game. Okay, that one. Okay, no, that one
Who's
got
the
panned.
Medium?
Oh
Hang on.
boy.
Yeah, without going to.
Well, it got panned by audiences, but not really critics. It's one of those ones.
Oh wait, I recognise this cover. That was them
Yeah.
as well. Is this a Dark Souls?
Yes.
No,
yes,
no.
That's the one. That's supposed to be the first like next gen game that used its power so it could have two of the same environments loaded at the same time, and they were like big like that. Like it was basically just more of a graphics push game than an actual like.
Strange, because
that.
yeah, no, I didn't think that's what this sort of thing was. Because I don't know, for some reason when I saw this box, I thought budget game.
Yeah, that's. I
I
think.
mean, looking at footage, it doesn't
Yep.
look horrible, but I don't know.
But yeah, like I said, it was supposed to be. It was a way because like you would travel through the same-ish areas, but like the areas would swap in real time, and there wouldn't be any load times, and so it was supposed to be a display for the Xbox One X, and like its power, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how it was being marketed, in case. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, for the medium.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into spoilers. Okay. Blooper Team as a developer is, from what I've heard, is like competent somehow. It's just that when it comes to writing stories, this is where they really get the most flack. Let's just keep it at that. And
yeah,
having not
but
played-
now that it's a remake,
yes,
they probably won't have that issue. I mean, even if they just stick with the same script and don't change like anything, like I'm pretty sure people will be fine with that.
yeah. Let's
Yeah,
hope.
you never know. People were like also sort of harping on like the main protagonist's face being a bit weird. I wasn't personally bothered by it because, well, it's mocap. It's it's what it is. I mean, I'm curious of it. I need to play OG2 because I own. Well, actually, what's the most expensive version now?
Oh,
Which I was surprised.
you
It's the 2-disc one, not the director's cut. That one's a little bit more. Although you can buy on Xbox and it's the same thing. I don't own a copy. I used to. Sadly.
see, funny enough, I do own the Silent Hill 2 for the Xbox original, and that's
Good
how I
choice.
played it.
Apparently it's glitchy on a 360, so that's a bit of a shame.
Oh yeah, the remaster are really, really glitchy.
Oh, not the remaster. No.
No. That's the remaster, but there was a version released for the original Xbox,
Ah, okay.
which nobody
Yeah, the
seems to talk
360
about, but
one-
I have it.
Yeah.
It's right here. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
And it has some added features that were not in, I think, any of the PS2 releases at that point. But
Yeah.
So kind of like what the Capcom did with the Onimusha the first Onimusha game.
yeah,
So,
honestly,
yeah.
it's very much. It's
Yeah.
pretty much like
But,
that with Gunma.
Yeah, with the PS2 one, apparently that is just the way to play it because that's what it was built for initially, and you don't get any of those weird glitches.
There is some odd like pop in at points, but that's all I found. Then again, oh geez, it's been so long since I actually played Silent Hill 2 that like I tried to remember like what I thought about it. It was the first Silent Hill game that I played, but even then that was like 2018, I want to say, is when I actually played that. So
It's like I own a majority of them, minus Origins and Homecoming. I own the rest of them, including the one Xbox One compatible one, Downpour. That was
that
also
one.
when they were like outsourcing to other developers. It was Climax.
yeah, but nobody liked those.
No, I bought Downpour because it was stupidly cheap, and that's before it shot up in price.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, and it's the only way you can play that for an Xbox One is if you have the disc.
But it's compatible.
It's
For some
compatible.
reason.
Yeah, Homecoming isn't. Downpour is. Don't know why.
Yeah. So yeah. So weird. So when it comes to just my history with the Silent Hill series, I'm gonna be honest. I've never played a single game, but I used to watch my cousins play the first one on the original PlayStation 1 back in like
Yeah,
the
that's
late 90s.
that one's like 75 now. I own a disc, and I had to like I actually ordered like a custom cover from eBay. So it basically looks new. There's no manual though, but yeah, there is a remake on the Wii, but I know that changes a lot of stuff significantly.
And that remake also got ported to the PS2, I want to believe.
Yeah,
and it's also very
Shattered
expensive on
Memories.
PS2.
yes, Shattered Memories.
Oh yeah, no,
Shattered
it is.
Memories.
It is.
PSP as well.
Yes. Same.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
But yeah,
PSP,
they're
PS2, Wii.
a common theme with Silent Hill games is that they're all pretty much expensive.
Yeah, because
I mean, I think the cheapest. Well, actually, not even the Vita one, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, right. Like for some reason, the Silent Hill games tend to be like all, except for Silent Hill 4, which you can buy on GOG.
really?
Yeah, and Steam has Homecoming. I have 4, and it was cheap on original Xbox, and it was on PS2, so I thought, hell yeah, I'll get that. It's the only 18 rated game over here that has the little spider icon. That means scary.
Oh, it's only scary game. It's the
Yeah,
only
and it's
scary
like,
game you
wait,
guys
so
have.
like, often that's paired with like 7 rated games here, which I find really funny.
Weird.
It's like to represent fear, it's like little spider.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, as I say, 5. It is on no 5, not Silent Hill 5. What the
Four.
fuck is it? 2's remake on PS5
2.
is apparently on.
So two is
PC.
going to be a PS5 exclusive for a year.
Correct. PC as well,
yeah.
apparently.
Yes.
PC same day PC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, I didn't know.
I wouldn't blame you for missing that because their announcement, they shrunk it down in little text.
Okay, I somehow did miss that. Like what? Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Cool, thanks.
Yeah. And like, yeah, a lot of streamers are
It's
happy with
further
that.
proving the fact that I don't need a PS5.
I would love one just for Ratchet, and that's it. You know.
Yeah,
but-
honestly, that's kind of me right now too. I'm just like, I kind of want to get the
Yeah.
because I really want
Or
to get
just-
into the Ratchet series. But
well,
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to buy PS3 for some of them because they still
Yeah.
haven't ported them yet, the bastards. But anyway, that's a different thing. So the other Silent Hill games, I remember
Oh yeah.
was it Townfall?
Yeah. Townfall.
We don't know what that is.
Yeah, I think this is developed by shit. Let me see if I can look it up. What's it called again? Silent Hill.
Townfall,
Okay, Silent.
Townfall.
which sounds
some-
like, I'm guessing, multiplayer shenanigans.
Yeah.
It looked to me like some sort of a shit. What is it called? A text, like not a text.
Oh no, that's not the text one. The text one was the
F,
I
right?
don't remember because they announced like 4 titles and all the titles were blending in.
I want to say that's Silent Hill F.
No. F is like no. F is like the one.
It's the actually interesting looking one, but that's just CG trailer.
No. We'll talk
No,
about we'll talk about F later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Townfall is by I want to see who's developing it. It's published by Annapurna Interactive, and let's see, the same guys who got Astray earlier this year. And let's see.
Yeah, I don't think we really got much
Yeah, it's
on that.
It's from a developer called No Code. Anyone familiar with them? They've made a game called Observation.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is just like, yeah, they just announced that this is a thing, but we don't really know what type of
Yeah, we don't know what
game
it
it's going
is.
to be. We're speculating it might be a more walking sim-esque game, but I mean that's just speculation. We literally have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
And the text chat one, that's called Ascension. We know
Ascension
even
is the text chat one. Yeah.
Ascension is the text chat one, but again, we don't know what that is, and I'm guessing also it's not going to last a year. Because I loved how in the trailer they had like fake text chat with someone saying "oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," not like full shit, just shit. SHI, and it's just like,
yeah,
no one
it is.
cares like
It
that.
is funny though because it is being helmed by Bad Robot. You know.
Yes, and everyone was making fun of the fact that this is like a J.J. Abrams. Was it? There's a Palpatine joke to be made here.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is.
Silent Hill survived somehow.
It's just I'm not sure. That just looks like it's very vague.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
The official word straight from the mouth is a new form of entertainment that blends community, live storytelling, and interactivity. What is that? That's
Just
like word
buzzwords.
vomit.
It's a full immersive interactive experience.
So yeah, I don't know what that is.
Sounds like marketing bullshit talk.
It's
Whatever.
because they want to hide the fact that you can possibly buy little funny JPEGs. We don't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, watch it be just like a gotcha game. Yeah, watch it be a freaking gotcha game.
It'll be some crap like that.
Board pyramid heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, this was something that was bothering me.
Yes.
They called him like something else that wasn't pyramid head. It was like triangle head.
Really?
Red triangle thing or something.
Why? Is this pyramid like trademarked or something?
I don't know why. They kept calling it the red pyramid thing. When the fuck was it called that?
No idea.
Like,
Weird.
it's just like what it was so because like the presentation itself, they were very stiff in their delivery. It's like, wow, I cannot wait to play that game next. It's like everyone was being held at gunpoint.
Weird.
It's that whole I don't know, something about that presentation was just off.
Yeah. At least they made something. So before we move.
Something, yes.
Yep. So before.
And not like another Metal Gear Survive situation.
Ugh.
Or Contra. I don't know what's worse, the Contra one or the anyway.
Hey, remember when like we remember that the Final Fantasy VII thing, First Soldier, that died so quickly and it's gone now?
Oh, same with what's it called? The platinum thing. Babylon's Fall that I didn't even know released.
Oh yeah, Babylon's Fall,
And, like,
which
stores were
released,
selling it
and
off.
Yeah.
Then
for
it's
free.
just now a dead game.
Yes.
And
It's like these live service things, unless they're like very, very successful, they never last.
Nope.
So it's a lot of it's essentially a money hole.
So yeah, my speculation is that's going to be some type of live service thing.
Yes.
Probably. Maybe.
But
Yeah.
anyway, can we talk about F now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to talk about F as well. But go
for it,
ahead.
yeah.
Yes, Shin Megami Tensei F, my favorite. Wait, what?
So yeah, Silent Hill F. I've seen the teaser. It's probably the one that creeped me out the most.
Yeah, it's got like weird like sea life looking stuff.
Yeah, there's some weird red fungi, like possessing
Yeah,
a little girl or something.
I don't know anything about the writer. They had like a number in their name, but apparently they write a lot of psychological horror.
I think visual novels.
Visual novels, yeah. So apparently it's like, okay, people seem to like them, so
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Are you familiar with this writer? I don't know what's his name. Gumshoe?
No.
No,
That was
Gumshoe.
the first time I heard of them. It stood out because it was like, wait, is that their Twitch username that they're putting in?
Yes, that's the man who's behind the Higurashi series.
Here you go. I'm gonna have to look up Higurashi.
Which, if you know anything about Higurashi, oh boy, pretty much
Okay.
exactly
No,
like.
I've heard of this, never watched it. It's just like
I definitely
going
recommend
through
it.
Google
It's a very
Images.
much a classic. It's a classic anime horror for
yeah, because
sure.
the DVD covers they go from like very bright blue sky to like dark red. I'm like, okay, I've not watched this, but I'm expecting fucked up shenanigans.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no, and it is all like very psychological. But keep in mind, those were originally VNs, so it was a VN to anime.
Okay.
Thing, but the VNs were extremely popular, and that's kind of just it. So honestly, coming from him, doing a Silent Hill game, I think is like perfect. So
Yeah,
I honestly, I would not be surprised if F ends up being the best thing, because it does have like someone who's very good at this sort of setting, coupled with we can kind of do whatever story we want because it's supposed to be set in 1960s Japan.
Yes,
and it's not
1960
attached
to Silent
to
Hill.
really anything. Not attached to any other like previous Silent Hill, so it can kind of be its own
Yeah.
story.
The only Silent Hill connection to this one is that it ends on a Japanese folklore cover of the Silent Hill 1 theme. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Which like I'm totally fine for it. Like yeah, great. I'm actually more excited for that than I am the Silent Hill 2 remake. honestly.
But who's developing it? I have no idea.
So my monitor went off. Hang on, there we go. It's fine.
Actually, I forgot who's developing it. I don't think they said. Oh God, that one Neobards Entertainment, which I only know them because they were responsible for helping port the Devil May Cry HD collection to the PC. That's literally it. It's the only reason I recognize it. Like, oh yeah, them. What?
Okay, so they're good at porting stuff, but we don't know if they can make original games.
I don't know. Maybe there's something else that they've done.
So yeah, Silent Hill If is definitely the most interesting one of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of other horror games recently announced, it's competitor series. Well, actually, no. Well, Resident Evil has actually gone. Like, well, it's actually made games in the time Konami's like not.
Oh no. Yeah. What is it? Okay, we'll talk about the Resident Evil announcements.
Oh yeah, they also did. Funny enough, they also did a lot of the more recent Resident Evil ports. They did the Reverse.
Oh yeah, that's finally coming out, and is minus the cell shading, which honestly looked a bit ugly.
Yeah, and I believe Resident Evil 3 they helped with that.
Oh yeah, the multiplayer mode, which
Direct Resistance, and also like the base game too. Like the base game. Okay. The base game. So funny, they worked on Resident Evil, and then they're working on Silent Hill.
I mean, sure, seems relevant.
I mean, from the teaser, it does have some kind of body horror, so we'll see.
But yeah, Resident Evil, what a segue, man.
Yep. Speaking of Resident Evil, the day after, Capcom decided to make a special stream for the upcoming Resident Evil games they're gonna announce.
Yeah, there was one I couldn't watch because it was DLC for a game I hadn't played yet. It was 8's DLC.
Oh yeah, they well, 8's DLC we've known for a time, and we got a little.
Oh, I know of it. I've just avoided watching footage because I've not played the main game.
Yeah, that's fair because it is going to be set after the main game. So.
But I am glad more is coming. I was watching.
Honestly, I am kind of interested to replay the game in third person. Not gonna lie, I'm like.
Yeah. Apparently, that's only with the DLC, so you have to have the DLC to play in third person.
To be fair, I just kind of see that as an added bonus. Like,
sure, yeah, it's just that
it's a little extra.
I was watching it with the announcement with my brother, and he mentioned how there are some people who they don't inherently like first-person stuff, so as an accessibility option, maybe it should.
I think for like 7, the first person works. When you play 8 totally could be third person, and I feel like you wouldn't really miss much.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Ethan has a full model now, because considering 7.
7, I believe he did it. Yeah.
He was I think he was literally faceless.
Well, no, he was faceless, but I also believe his like he didn't have like a full model. I think like
only
parts.
partial.
There was concept art made where his face is just blacked out.
Yeah. So. So there was that DLC, the add-on and such, and very exciting looking remake. This one I'm actually far more interested in than the 2 one.
The game that does not be remade, but they're remaking it anyway.
And honestly, I'm kind of digging it.
I mean, it's not as unnecessary as The Last of Us, in my opinion.
Oh no, that's
okay. No, that is the most unnecessary remake ever.
Yes.
In the history of ever.
Yeah. Ever.
But
yeah.
In terms of just like, oh yeah, 4 still holds up, but it's fine. I mean, I understand. I am super biased because I love 4 so much, especially on the Wii. But this remake does look pretty legit.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe I've never played 4, but I've seen a couple clips, and one of the most popular thing about the 4 was it's cheesy dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah, I finished 4 on PS4 again recently because I only played the Wii one before. It's so weird playing with the default control scheme. Like, it's perfectly playable, but it's like, I kind of miss the pointer.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, you know, I mean, like, the controls, you know, that's how they were built initially. I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is how they were? And some of those HD assets, like, I was playing, like, some of the bonus stuff from the HD port, and, like, there were certain cutscenes that were, like, because they were made for PS2, it's the Separate Ways stuff.
Oh no, the Separate Ways was made for PS2, so that
And then
stuff
the
is all
cutscenes are, like,
FMVs.
swooshed as a result.
So they're all so they look terrible on newer stuff. So
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
other than that, the game is like it's a good version to play. I'm glad it's pretty much practical on everything. I'm curious how it is on Switch as well. No gyro though, for some weird reason.
yeah, there isn't any gyro stuff. I have heard that, like, if you don't mind the PC version, now that the HD super duper HD mod is
Yes.
out, that's probably a good way to play it, because I also think
Yeah.
it does try to fix up Separate Ways a little bit.
Yeah. I'm genuinely surprised that the first release of 4 on PC didn't have mouse controls.
I know that's very surprising
Just like
too.
how do you do that?
But I also generally just like playing these games with a controller. That's just how.
Yeah, that's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I mean,
But no, I'm very curious with 4's remake of how, like, I did notice they snuck in a couple of corny lines here and there, which was like, okay, it's
yeah,
not entirely serious.
yeah. I think to ensure they did this to to assure the fans that
Listen,
these-
3 I mean, even with something like the remake of the third game, I feel like they did kind of keep some of the tone of it being, because I honestly think that, like, 3's not even that serious of a freaking story. But 4 for sure, it's like that's just part of its identity. So
Yes.
if they were to whole cut, like, try to remove that, it just would not work. I think they are trying to at least make the situation and the surroundings a lot more dire, because, I mean, at some point, like, sure, there's atmosphere in Resident Evil 4, but, you know, like, I'd say once you get to the part where you're running, like, you start, like, running, trying to get a boulder to not, like, flatten you, then I feel like after that, you kind of just don't forget about the atmosphere
Yeah.
a bit.
Because
It's
I'm
like,
yeah, I'm a little more hopeful because having played most of the RE2 remake and, like, getting a feel for how that plays, I'm like, okay, I dig how this is, because there's as I said, I adjust to tank controls almost no problem, unless it's like classic RE. I never really got behind that personally, not even the Origins collection. It's because it was mostly the puzzles that threw me. Whereas 2 has,
also
like, that
'cause Zero
perfect
sucks.
balance.
Zero is the worst Resident Evil game I've ever played. Like, my god.
Zero. Oh yeah, no, I heard that was, like, completely unnecessary. Yeah.
So if a newcomer should they skip 0?
Honestly, I'd say that if a newcomer, you could start with the remake of second game. You could start there if you ever
Yeah,
wanted.
'cause
Like, that's a
it's-
perfectly fine starting point. Remake of the first one is still very solid. Use a guide if you get stuck on any part, but it's still a very solid game. But if you don't care about the actual origins, no pun intended, then I would say the remake of the second game, because it's dang good.
Okay,
Yes,
so zero
and-
zero is probably like optional for second.
Zero is a prequel that doesn't do anything to set up anything, and it just exists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you also got to worry about basically 2 separate item management and things, and that there's no co-op, and it's like the worst because you're constantly backtracking to deliver items to another dude, and it's like it's a pain.
Okay, so
Yeah, I don't know. I'd never really liked either, but
It's
yeah.
pain. I don't like it.
It's, yeah, as I say, playing RE2 and getting, it's just the fact, like, wow, I don't need to, like, hit a quick turn button. I mean, there is one in the game, but it's like, everything else just feels better to control, and it's got that sort of risk reward sort of thing, where, like, you know, there is still, you got to still manage your ammo, and everything's sort of like very Metroid-ish in its setup. Like,
That's kind of
Resident Evil-
how Resident Evil's always been a little bit.
It is. It's
Um,
just it was finally here where it clicked for me. Because 4 is a bit more straightforward. The original.
Oh yeah,
And
because once they got to 4, then that became the skeleton for the rest of the game, the rest of the series,
Yes.
pretty much.
So
It's
like
just-
now that they've managed to strike a balance again, I'm like, okay, will they be making it a bit more Metroidy or well, a classic
They
RE?
probably won't.
Yeah.
I don't really expect them to.
I
that.
do like
kind
the fact that the ammo merchant and like the counterattack stuff is still in there. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah, I think there was one where he parries the chainsaw guy with his own pistol.
That's
He's a little
added.
knife. He uses his knife to parry a chainsaw. It's fucking
Now
great.
the funny thing is that can actually work in real life because the chainsaw in itself is the weakest part is actually that part,
Yeah.
and the knife is technically more sturdy. So yeah, fun fact that can
Wow.
actually work.
Did Mythbusters test this or something?
Yeah, it can
Wow.
actually work. So,
Okay.
But yeah, I like how the merchant himself is like more Australian. Like, there's no replacing the original voice, but it's like, it's fine here.
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be Australia. I don't know what accent the merchant's supposed to have.
So it's definitely not something from the UK.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I say, I'm excited for that. Curious of Silent Hill 2 in comparison. But of course, we need to see more from that
We'll
first.
see. So yeah, is that the only Resident Evil games that were shown? I haven't seen the entire thing. by the
yeah,
way.
it was basically just a big showcase of 4 and then a little bit of the 8.
Yeah,
DLC.
so less, but it felt like they were talking about more instead of Silent Hill's presentation, where it's like, oh, we also have a movie. It might be coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
At least they weren't doing
Sure.
it. So.
Yeah, it did well but then they needed to be like, oh, we got things, like trust
We've got
us.
things coming. Whereas with RE,
Here we
it's like
go.
they've earned their we're doing it credibility. So they're fine.
Absolutely. So yeah, one last thing about the Resident Evil. I think they've recently confirmed that Code Veronica is never getting a remake.
And that's a shame. That's a game that needs it the most. For sure.
That was another one I tried to like play, and I was just like, okay, there's full 3D now, but if you want to know how early I got stuck on that one, it was the
Float.
no, it was the
What?
graveyard, which is literally the opening.
Oh, that is early.
I got stuck, and there was like a thing involving it's a machine like you can't take your gun for it.
Oh, that one. Yeah. You can't take your gun through it, so you can.
Kind of just gave up after that.
Yeah.
They're very much
Yeah, no,
guide
that's fair.
games, whereas, I know some modern games, you can use a guide, but sometimes there's it felt like you could still figure out things on your own mostly.
Yeah, I've only seen the the only thing I know about Code Veronica is from negative, somewhat mixed reception from it by fans, and especially from Some Call Me Johnny. Some Call Me Johnny's review.
I played it up until then. Then you have to play as Chris, and I was just done with the game. I was like, nah, I don't want to go through the game all over again.
Oh.
Yeah,
And you're required to, because like basically that's it. So you play as Claire, right? And
Yes.
you go through, and then there's a point where it's like, oh, now I gotta play as Chris, and Chris is just goes through the same thing, but it's in the same campaign. It's not two separate campaigns. It's
Oh.
the same campaign.
It's like the same exact situations.
Yes.
Well, that's not
But
how
at
you
that
do
point,
it.
I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't. I played enough.
Yeah, it's not how you do a split campaign. Yeah, there has to be like a difference. It's like Devil May Cry 2.
And of course,
all over
Chris's
again.
sections is like harder too. So it's like, oh, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah.
it's probably because Code Veronica probably needs a lot more to fix than Resident Evil 4. So that's why it's
Yes.
like, nah.
No, I'd be down for that. I mean, hell, they probably. Yeah, that would need an entire reworking, but I don't know how would you do it? But then since they're not going to, it's like okay.
Nah. And yeah, aside from Resident Evil and Silent Hill, in the last like 2 months? Let's see, August, September. There's like 1 or 2 months worth of game announcements that happened since the last episode. There's like upcoming Yakuza games. and like what is it? There's the Dead Space remake, and then there's the Callisto Protocol, and what else is there? Sonic Frontiers. There's a lot we could talk about in this segment, but
yeah,
we don't.
There's one I'll save. Well, it was actually no, it was announced ages ago, so never mind. That doesn't count. But you'll know it when you hear it.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, honestly, no, I haven't really been keeping track of newer games, to be honest, because it's mostly been re-releases and other things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, newer games sort of sneak up on me because I already have like a bunch to tackle, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really invade my headspace.
Almost the same here. I mean, that's why I made a podcast about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we have like 3 Yakuza games coming, and like and there's, like I said, the Dead Space remake, and which is, in my opinion, another remake that's actually somewhat, a game that's deserved to be remade. That is not The Last of Us.
Yes. I wish they didn't kill off their original dev team in the process, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because like right, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Dead Space was developed by Visceral Games, which no longer exists
Visceral
now.
initially.
Yes.
And then I don't know who's doing this new one.
EA Motive or something? I don't know. Something like that. That's what
It's just very backhand. It's like, oh yeah, we'll dismantle your team, but then we'll remake your thing.
Yeah. And, and many of them went on to develop the other game.
The Calisto one, yeah. So they're direct competitors.
Yes.
So curious to see how that pans out. I am curious of Callisto. The problem with the title is I keep forgetting it. It's like, oh yeah, Callisto Protocol. Yeah, that one. Yeah. It's like when it's the something, whereas Dead Space is a bit more of a catchier name.
Yeah.
But of course, it all depends on how the game is once it's all done.
Yeah.
Are they releasing in the same month?
No, I think they pushed. I think Dead Space is like coming early. I think it's coming early 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think let me check it out real quick. Let's see. Dead Space remake release date. Okay. No, why did I click on Dead Space remake Reddit? I want to know about what Reddit thinks about this game.
Yeah, I want to know what Reddit thinks. What does Reddit think? Hey, I'm curious. What?
Nah, screw that. Okay. Dead Space remake gets January 2023 release date. So it's not coming this year. Okay. Yeah. But from what little I've seen, it looks quite promising. We'll see. I only played it twice, but yeah, Dead Space is really damn good.
Yeah. Get Tommy Wiseau to play it, just like he did Dead Space 2.
Oh boy.
That really happened.
Yeah, he had a show called the Tommy Wiseau Show.
Wiseau.
Yes. That one.
But the fact that I asked him about that once was surreal. But yeah, I probably mentioned it before.
Oh yeah, I've seen you tweet about it once.
Yes. I still have to look at that and thinking, wait, that actually happened? The fuck? Just like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, no one would revive that show. But I'm thinking that'd be pretty funny if he just got to play that.
He'd do it.
He'd just be like, monster, and then die instantly because he doesn't have to play game.
Yeah, he's a chill dude, good. When he embraced his status as a schlocky filmmaker, that's admirable in my opinion.
He should do the Dead Space movie. Maybe Dead Space is vampire. That'd be his solution.
They like necromorphs. They're really, really terrible.
Spaceship is like The Room.
Yeah, probably.
Silent Hill 4, The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh boy.
Anyway, slightly off topic, but yeah.
Moving on. So and one last game that's coming in 2 weeks, and I need to know your opinions about it because it's getting really closer to release date, and that is Sonic Frontiers. What do you think?
I'm hype, but I've always been hype, and I've never changed. I believed in the game when no one did. I want to say that. I knew Like, listen,
were-
guys, it's just the way that they were telling us the information is bad.
Oh yeah,
But,
they
like,
were terrible at advertising.
They were terrible at advertising it, but I'm like, okay, but I just noticed that it's like with the actually like what is
I like
supposed
the-
to be in
the
here.
combat.
But good.
Yeah, it
The
looks,
combat is interesting, surprisingly.
we'll see how it's executed. That's
Yeah, it's as I say, because I have the worry that it's probably going to be a bit too segmented. It's like, oh, we get speed stage and then overworld. Like it's going to be sort of like not cohesive. But again, it's not out yet. I don't know how it plays. So
I mean, there's like these bonus cyberspace levels, which kind of plays like regular what's it called again? Boost Sonic levels without the 2D segments. That's more.
I am curious, how the hell is it going to run on Switch? Probably not well.
Probably.
But then again, good, surprising Switch ports have happened. But then again, Sega, not exactly the height of technicality, at least only sometimes.
As long as they don't rush it, because they've said they're not gonna delay this game.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
It was in development longer than Sonic Forces.
Long.
That's true, because that's already a plus.
I mean, yeah. They said Forces was in development for years, but mostly was like working on the engine than developing the game itself. So.
Yes. It's like, at the last minute, they wanted to shove in the gun stuff.
Yeah.
Gun?
Yeah.
What?
I think it's talking about the OC,
Oh.
the OC stages.
No. The OC was planned. The thing that they shoved in
Oh,
last
really? That
minute was
was
Classic
the
Sonic.
last minute decision? Oh.
No, it was Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic was the last minute decision.
Oh, right, yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah. That was the most
That makes
unnecessary. So unnecessary and shoved in.
We have to drop.
Yeah, it was
chaos.
supposed to, the OC was supposed to be there, so it was supposed to that was the draw of the game was that you'd have Mono Sonic and then this new character that could be whatever you wanted, and like that was the original concept. For sure.
You're like, yeah,
But then Classic Sonic got thrown in, and they're like, it's got like a year left of dev time probably. They're like, it's fine.
We'll put in,
not
we'll put in
fine.
Shadow.
Yeah,
and
we-
then
episode Shadow. Yeah, is that?
Which is actually enjoyable.
It's
It was only the episode.
it was fun. It was unintentionally funny. That was the height of it.
with the part where he beats up what's it called, Infinite, and he's like, and he whines
Mr.
about it.
Edgelord, yeah.
Yeah, all right, it was funny as hell. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best music of the game for sure.
Yeah.
I liked some of the music. The 8-bit tracks are a bit naff, I felt.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Classic Sonic tracks are the worst. They're
Yeah,
the
it's
worst.
like they sound off.
But like the Shadow ones, which are just remixes of different ones, but they're really good.
Yes.
Those are fine.
Yeah. Sonic.
But yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I've
Sonic.
not listened to any of Frontiers music yet, though. I heard like it had a main theme already.
Yeah. It has an end theme that's licensed by a Japanese rock a band called One OK Rock. I'm not familiar with them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got opening, and it does have its opening or official theme, and then we have the Starfall Islands theme, and then we have another musical thing that got released. But there's reportedly 150 tracks in the soundtrack, so
It's gonna be a beefy one. When it comes to Sonic games, it's a given. It's gonna always be great.
well,
And then from what I've heard from these cyberspace tracks, they gotta be bangers. I like what I heard.
But yeah, we'll see how it is. I know a friend of mine is going to get it at launch, so hopefully I'll get to try out his copy.
Yeah.
Once he does,
Yeah.
If he finishes it, because he's like me, he's kind of slow at finishing games.
Yeah, same. When it comes to Frontiers, it looks promising. They're obviously putting more effort into it than Forces, so I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautiously.
Yeah, they're just terrible at advertising. Same with their Netflix show.
Sonic,
Sega just don't know how to show off their game, their Sonics.
Sonic Prime.
recently.
Yeah.
Yes, Sonic Prime on Netflix, which is very confusing to say. Because you've got Amazon Prime, and I keep thinking it's on Amazon Prime.
What are your thoughts on the new guy, Devin Mack, voicing Sonic? I thought he's alright.
no, he's
Sound-
fine.
They sound fine.
I mean,
there's gonna be-
keep in mind, it's like I'm just used to
Roger Craig
President
Smith.
Sonics having different VAs.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's like at this point, it's fine.
Yeah.
Devon Mech is fine.
I'm curious. I mean, Pig is probably going to be like a 1-second cameo, and that's it.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Because
in Frontiers?
no,
Not in Frontiers, no, in
Prime.
the show.
Prime. We'll see. Because the
We don't know about
the reason
what.
the reason they changed the voice actors because it's produced in Canada and Canada has a mandate that you have to.
Oh yeah, no, that okay.
hire-
Yeah,
Oh, it's a whole,
that is-
it's a whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, hire Canadian voice actors, so that's why.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, well, when it comes to Frontiers, I'm cautiously optimistic. But we'll see. There's one last thing. Because we have a VTuber with us right now. Do you think we'll ever gonna get the Corone DLCs for
No,
this?
that's never coming over to the West officially, which is why you should get the PC version because I'm pretty
What?
sure that's gonna be modded in day one.
The what DLC?
There's a Corone DLC
Hang on,
where
sorry,
not
man.
only
In Japan.
Not only does Sonic get gloves and shoes that are modeled after her outfit,
Yes.
not only are the little rock dudes now the oh god, I'm a fake fan because I always forget.
Koronesuki.
Yes.
Yes.
Not only are they that, not only does she have voice lines now in the game for that, but it's like
I think they
all this
Yes. Yes.
all this extra DLC that only Japan gets.
Which is bullshit because she's pretty much known outside of Japan. Everyone just saw her.
Yeah,
her
she
ben-
has like
No,
one of
it's
the biggest.
the bench. The Banjo
out of that,
Yeah, the Banjo Kazooie clips, the Doom 64 ones. Come on, Eco Bookum. That stuff.
well, out of Hollow
this
Stars,
person,
she's-
okay.
I think she does have the biggest international audience. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. I might have to double check numbers, but
Yeah,
but it's there.
And she's also in case you didn't know, she's a VTuber from Hololive, which is a part of which is called the Cover Corp company that's specialized in that handles manages a group of VTubers, and yeah, she recently in the last few years she's been playing some Sonic games, and Sega decided to hire her as the spokesperson for the series. This not spokesperson, sorry, the ambassador for the series.
Yeah,
And
kind of just an ambassador. So she's got some stuff in there.
she even
They are doing a Monster Hunter collab too. So Sonic has like a Monster Hunter skin that's gonna be free DLC day one.
Yes. Yeah, and when it comes to Frontiers, they've been trying to appeal a little bit to the Japanese audience.
Well, yeah, that's
the story.
that's been their.
Yeah, the story is more shonen now, like the old games. They got a Japanese rock band for the ending song, the Corone DLC. So yeah, they're obviously trying to, push.
I just think it's just that's kind of just the Sonic that I like a little more. So I mean, like that's why I'm like, okay, everything surrounding this seems like it's gonna be really good.
We'll see how it
And then
is.
watch me eat my words, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, and we have Ian Flynn, a comic writer who's known for doing great stuff for the comic series, for the Sonic comic series. So, yeah, this game has a lot of promise. We'll see how it turns out in the end, though. Yeah, we're cautiously.
And that was mouthful.
Yep, because we brought up Sonic, and we have a few Sonic fans among us. I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah,
word.
only a few though.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. So, that's what we rambled for too long about too many games, but that's what the podcast is for. Okay, so we had a lot to talk about for this first segment of this podcast. A lot of games coming, so and a lot of them were horror, and and there's also Sonic, which is coming in less than a month. So yeah. There's plenty coming. So plenty of games coming. So yeah, let's get to our game picks. We did a wheel spin, before start recording this episode, and I think Gumshoe is gonna start first. So yeah, what you got for us for this episode?
All right. So I know that for the spooky season, I decided to play a game that, while may not be spooky on the surface, is probably one of the darkest RPGs I've ever had the experience of playing, and that is Omori. If if the title is familiar to you, that's because it is a game that was kickstarted a while ago. I forgot to look up the exact date. But
I'll look it up. I can look it up.
yeah, I forgot to write down the
That's fine.
exact date, but it released in 2020. The Kickstarter is so old that one of the original stretch goals was a port on the 3DS. So
Oh,
yeah,
just
from
like
around
number
that
9.
time to it finally getting released in 2020 was it definitely was a time. The console versions also did get finally a release this year too. But I didn't play those. I played the original PC port, which is amazing. I'm gonna just play like flat out away. This is a 10 out of 10 game for me. This is one of the like the games that, if you can stomach its bit of dark content, and like, let's say there are definitely trigger warnings, especially if for stuff like self-harm, that if you can handle stuff like that, then I highly encourage people to go play this game, especially since I will not be doing any hard spoilers for this, so like, don't worry. But there are like some things in its first act I will have to actually talk about that kind of spoil the first twist, as it says. So
Yeah,
I have this on Game Pass, and I was meaning to play it because
it is also on
Yeah.
Game Pass, which
Is it still on there?
so
Because I haven't renewed my subscription.
It is.
So.
it is.
Okay.
It's Omori is still on there. So
Because
I checked out.
do you know about the artist who did it?
Hmm?
Okay, so it mentions OmoCat. Now, they actually have a clothing brand.
yes.
Yeah, because I actually have an OmoCat jumper. It's like a bright blue thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, that piqued my interest as well. But yes, I don't know. Since I'm kind of curious of playing the game, I mean, should I mute myself or like mute the chat?
No, don't worry.
No?
I won't be getting any
No, so
any
just
hard
first act,
spoils.
okay.
I will just be kind of I will just be kind of going based off the premise of what you actually do in the game, because the game is basically there's two sides to it.
Before you continue,
That's it.
yeah. Before you continue, I just checked out the Kickstarter. It launched all the way back in 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
So about 8 years ago.
So it was in development for a while, and this game got compared. Like the art, you can actually get into the game itself. So you play as this kid known as Omori, and you're in this space called the White Space, and it's this kind of like, I don't really like this. It's just you just have like it's just this blank everywhere. So you're like, okay, screw this, I'm gonna get out, and then you go into this other space called Dream Space, and you find that, oh, I have friends, and you go on adventures with your friend, but then, oh no, later down there's some dark things that happen, and then one of your friends is gone, so now you're on a mission to try and find where the heck their friend Basil is. So yeah, that's kind of the basic premise. If I boil down the plot to that, that's the basic premise for the first hour, and then it changes, because this is like the only spoiler part. This is the only part that I'll say, is that what you find out is that actually this whole thing is a dream, but and that actually our character Omori that you're playing is a self-representation of this other character named Sunny, or whatever you want to name them as, who is moving away in 3 days and has been isolated himself for this time, and you basically are playing through his dreams. So another portion of the game is this real-life aspect of you getting to kind of choose how to live out those last 3 days before you move. in a sense. Do you decide to kind of reconnect with some of the friends that you haven't seen in years because of isolation? Why is this even happening? Why is this isolation thing happening? If you decide to go out, do you get to see some of the friends that you saw in your dreams, but now they're older? Why is this happening? What is going on? It's a huge mystery. There's a lot of intrigue, and it's great. It's very good. Insanely good. But yeah, that's the basic premise without going into too much detail. That's pretty much all I can say without hard spoiling about like certain aspects of it. So yeah, the game Omori was also a comic book too, or graphic novel rather, if you prefer that term.
A webcomic on Tumblr, I believe.
A webcomic. There you go. That's the better term.
Yes.
I don't know why I just wrote, I just wrote comic in my notes. But yeah, it was a webcomic. The character was the characters were aged a bit down for this for the game, but pretty much it does go a lot based off of that, but also adds in a lot of new things from that were in the webcomic as well. And just generally, I would say it's a different beast. They're basically two sides of kind of this story that is similar in aspects, but the game adapts it in its own way that makes it's kind of its own thing for sure. Especially when you get into all the gameplay aspects, because this is an RPG, and as RPGs go, this is a standard turn-based where the weaknesses is judged by the triangle of emotions. So every single character can have usually has a skill where they can either make themselves or an enemy feel angry, sad, or happy. And the way it goes is that if someone is angry, then they do double damage, but also receive double that. If they're happy, then they score critical hits more, but are also miss more. And if they're sad, then they don't hit as hard, but they have increased defense. So there you go. And then there are certain bonuses that are attached to that. There is a triangle of like, well, if you're angry and you hit someone who's sad, then that will do more damage to the sad person. Whereas if you are angry and you try to hit someone who's happy, then you won't do as much damage.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it is, and there are items and stuff that like can change that, and there are different tiers too. Every character, there's like 2 levels. Omori's the character that has a 3rd level of like anger or any of the emotions, and it sounds very, very complex, but honestly, it is one of those that once you kind of get into it and just think of it as rock, paper, scissors, then it starts to make a lot of sense. So I think that's really the only thing you have to pay attention, and you only really need to pay attention to that in bosses, which are a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really fun and creative like characters and stuff that are in the actual game part, but yeah, it's great. It's honestly just super fun. The mechanics are just so great. There's some bosses that I didn't even get to on my first playthrough. There's a lot that I did not get to my first playthrough, and like I was streaming the game, so I did have someone in my chat who was at least like informing me about these secrets, but even then there was still stuff that I missed. So that was yeah, it has its replay value for sure, especially with its multiple different endings, and ways to get to said endings. So
yeah, because I had no clue it was like an RPG, honestly, because I just saw the initial image and I thought, okay, visual novel. But
it definitely has visual novel elements, but I wouldn't say it's a visual novel. It's definitely like an RPG in the vague Earthbound type weirdness a little bit.
Yeah.
So
but I would say we're like Undertale is definitely more of a uses the fantastical as like this is just kind of the world. Omori tries to recontextualize like all the weirdness in a more metaphorical sense.
Yeah, I was gonna bring out the Undertale comparison because they're obviously both.
People have compared this game to Undertale. It really is not. they're two different beats. Although Toby Fox did compose like a couple songs for it. Actually, the OST was composed by a couple of different people that have their own type. Like what was it? I think one of them's Slime Girls, which I've listened to their music before. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I heard snippets of the soundtrack. It's definitely something.
Yeah. Although I will say, if you intend to play the game, don't listen to all the soundtrack because it does kind of spoil the vibe of certain parts. But battle themes for sure. Woo, they're good. So if you want banger music, trust me, it's there. It is there.
Yeah, I've heard snippets from the soundtrack. But what's the name of the battle theme? I think I have it. I think I stumbled upon it once. I think it's called Tussle Among Trees.
Oh yeah, that's the main one. But each area has their own battle themes.
Ah, I see. Yeah. So, I'm gonna be honest when it comes to this game, Omori. I have to make a confession. I've seen Nitro Rad's review of this game, including the spoilery parts, and I have to agree with you. This game gets, without going to heavy spoilers, yeah, it gets dark. Like it does. It's probably gonna break some people emotionally.
It honestly, like, it really is in that like last third. I'm gonna be generous and say the third. That last third is when you really start to get it and fully kind of understand what's going on. I didn't even get the bad ending. I got the good ending. So like, I don't even know what even possible for.
I do intend to try this, but like, the thing is, I really hope I'm able to finish it while it is still on Game Pass, because the problem is like it'll say, oh, this game's leaving soon, and it's like, great, no, I want to play this more. I've had that before where I rejoin Game Pass and like something I was playing is just not on there now. It's like with Netflix. So I don't know. I could imagine playing on Switch if I really had to, or other formats. I assume. I don't know.
I can see it as suitable for Switch.
Yeah, but there's certain games I've got like this, like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fine on console, on like say the PS4, but it's like, it's a handheld thing. I could see myself playing it a bit more. But yeah, I mean, how long? Is it like a relatively long game or more straightforward?
No, it took me about like less than 30 hours to get to the good ending, and that's also with doing extra.
Wow. That's long for me.
That is, I guess that is long, but in terms of RPGs.
Oh yeah, in terms of full RPG, like
In terms of an RPG, that is not that long.
No, I mean 13 hours can be well paced.
And it is well paced, like for sure. It is well paced. Like, I would also say a lot of the extra stuff I did, you don't really need to do.
Yeah, I've played shorter games that felt like a massive slog. So I'm good to know if it has good. If anything, it's like with movies. If anything has good pacing, then that immediately gets extra points.
So yeah, that's also why I really recommend it too, because I do feel like it has good pacing. There wasn't really a spot of the game where I felt it was slow at all, and the characters were just all really fun and just kind of good to see. It was and the art style too was super great, and the characters are just, oh god, like it really is one of those complete package games where it's just everything works together exceptionally well, and the amount of side things that like you don't really have to do but are just there to kind of give you some more extra stuff to do, like when you actually get into the real world, there are side quests that aren't quests. You know, it's not like a marker being like, hey, did you know there's this quest? No, it's not that. It's just you find that like you can talk to NPCs and they might say something and they're like, oh, I can probably do this thing to help them. And if you want to, you don't have to. You can actually do some odd jobs to earn money if you want to buy things too. There's a whole like sub thing going on with this rock paper scissors like Pokemon thing called Pet Rocks that you can buy one and then challenge other people, like other NPCs, to there if you want to. That's entirely optional. It doesn't really affect the endings or anything. It's just there.
Probably for an achievement or a trophy or something. Maybe.
And yeah, so stuff like that like is there to just flesh out the world and stuff that I feel like if you appreciate just that sort of that type of game, then Omori is just gonna hit all the right buttons. Just I was very impressed for sure, especially since well, you know, I did like Undertale. I was not in the this is the best game of all time level.
Same.
I was in the this is pretty good. You know, like yeah, no, it's good. Like I understand why it's popular, but
Undertale? Oh, you should.
I'm well behind on the Undertale train. Seriously, it's just
it's like I don't think it's.
I have a
it's,
hard copy.
Again, I don't think it's the best game ever made. I kind of like the direction Deltarune is going more than Undertale. If that means anything, but you know, it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. Solid, good time. Had a lot of great moments, and that's but I feel like Omori was kind of what I would have wanted more, like a more or just kind of, I guess it's just more like it hit me more than something like Undertale.
Emotionally invested, I guess.
Yeah, I was a lot more emotionally invested with the characters and everything in Omori than I was in Undertale, which most of them just kind of
wacky comedy.
Like, you know. It's a wacky comedy. There's some serious bits in there, like don't get me wrong, and there is some good drama, but
yeah,
it is mainly just the wacky comedy, which is fine.
Yeah,
which is totally fine.
Yeah. When it comes to Undertale, I only played it once back in 2019. I got the neutral ending, but but for the most part, I was going for I went with the pacifist run. I didn't kill anyone, and I got the best ending. And I'm like just like you. That was back in 2019, so like years later, I got it digitally on the PSN. And Undertale, it's a good game. I liked it, but I'm not one of those people who will like sing praises of it like it's the second coming of Jesus or whatever. But it's a good game. I've yet to get to Deltarune. As for Omori, even though I spoiled myself about some of this, a lot of its aspects story-wise and stuff like that, I do plan on getting into it like a couple of years later, eventually, because it looks like it's a damn good game.
It is. I'll just reiterate. It is definitely one of those trigger warning games. So
yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Absolutely. But if you're just like, I don't mind something like that, which is funny because that's honestly probably why it got a lot of attention when it came out, because it came out in 2020.
Yeah.
A game about a hikikomori who locked himself in isolation.
Totally relatable.
Coming out in 2020.
So relatable. Totally relatable.
Because it was, so it's just like the timing, and everything. But my final word is just play it, or I guess you could watch the review on it too if you're still not.
That too. So I'm definitely giving this game a shot one day. Despite kind of spoiling myself about its story aspects and characters, but I'm definitely gonna give it a shot one day. because it looks so damn good. What about you, Otis?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because since I already have it downloaded on Game Pass, it's like, yeah, when I renew, among some other titles like Bug Snacks, that'll definitely be one I'll play.
Bug Snacks.
Oh yeah, Bug Snacks is on there, huh? Yeah,
It better still be on Game Pass when I get back, I swear. Because if not, there's always the PS4 hard copy. I did that with Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like, okay, I like this, but like, I know that if it suddenly leaves, if a game is of massive quality and it's like easily available physically, I just tend to opt for that.
Oh,
Sounds a little, but if it's an indie thing and it's like on the pass, then it's like usually I'm a little more unsure. Some I'm a bit more convinced by, like Omori, for instance. Others are a bit of a harder sell. There was one I played. Was it I Am Fish and Skatebird? Really didn't like those, so I'm glad I didn't drop the extra cash on them.
Isn't I Am Fish the one where you play as multiple fish and it's like a physics-based?
No, it's one fish traveling from like fishbowl to fishbowl. It mostly works, except when it doesn't. That's all I'll say, because I don't want to get this off track. Look it up. You'll probably find out why.
I'm pretty sure I saw a VTuber play it.
Yeah, maybe they liked it more than I did.
Yeah.
It was like,
No, all I know that it's frustrating to play. So.
Oh yeah, that was the main. I was just like, okay, this is like Katamari if I had no control.
Yeah.
That's the closest comparison I could think of. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so Omori. It looks like probably one of the best indie games ever made. So yeah, I am definitely giving it a shot.
Took 12 years to make.
Yeah.
No, 8. It was 8, not 12. Sorry.
Well, yeah, 8 or so.
Yeah, 12 is half a quote, but yeah.
But yeah, that it's definitely one of those. For the time, did everything you needed to.
Yeah, and don't make my mistake. Go into this game as blind as possible. Please, don't make my.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why I was trying to not talk about the plot too much.
Yes. Yeah. My recommendation: go into this game as blind as you can. So yeah, so you can enjoy it. So you're gonna have a better time with it. Better than probably what I'm gonna do when I finally get to this game. I mean, I'm probably gonna enjoy it. So, but yeah, it's probably best if you go into it barely knowing anything about it. So yeah, Omori, it's definitely something that's
Omori Borealis.
Omori
this time of year.
At
this time of day.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's, I guess vaguely. Would you call it scary or just more?
I would actually legitimately call it horrifying because there are some legit horror moments in this game.
A different type of horror, but still, it's like, okay, nothing wrong with playing.
Well, yeah, it's not jump scare horror. It's definitely a little bit more.
Okay,
definitely more psychological horror, but
yes, which is fitting for this episode. So
yeah,
for this podcast. So yeah. So yeah, Omori, both of us, me and Otis, will definitely gonna give it a shot one day. Eventually. Yeah, that's what some Call Me Johnny always say when someone asks him, "Are you gonna play this game?" He always answer, "Eventually."
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good answer because he has plenty of games to cover, for sure. Okay, so that was Gumshoe Gamer's pick, that was Omori. I think, based on the, the little wheel of fortune spinning thing that we did, the randomizer, that's supposed to be my turn now. So, yeah, let's get on to my pick. Originally, for this October, I was planning on playing a Yakuza game because, this show probably wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the Yakuza series. I was planning on playing Yakuza Dead Souls, but due to some changes in my life, having limited time, less free time than I used to have, I had to put the kibosh on it for now. So I'm currently playing another game right now for October, but but that's another one I'm gonna talk about. I'm currently playing Inside. I've already mentioned that, but I haven't beaten it and I don't have much thought about it. So, yeah, we'll talk about a different game, and this one it's kind of a continuation from the previous episode. And if you've seen the previous episode, I was talking about the classic Doom games. And yeah, I've only played 1 and 2 for the previous episode, and I've decided to leave the last one as its own game, as a separate game to talk about, because there's a lot to talk about it compared to like 1 and 2. I played it all the way in September, but I've got to beat it like in early October, and that is Doom 64. So this game originally came out in 1997 exclusively for the Nintendo 64, and it was published and developed by Williams Entertainment, aka Midway Games, in collaboration with id Software. Now we can't talk about this game without briefly mentioning the previous Doom games that Midway Games worked on. First there was the PSX version of Doom, released in 1995. This version of the game is actually a compilation of both Doom 1 and 2. But sadly, both games are missing some levels. I think they got a couple original levels in their place. I don't know. But they have a few exclusive levels, replacing them. Some of the demons introduced in Doom 2, like the Archviles and the Revenants, are entirely cut due to technical limitations, for better or worse. You'll know why in a second. The iconic metal-inspired MIDI soundtrack by Bobby Prince was replaced by an entirely new, more ambient, atmospheric soundtrack composed by Aubrey Hodges. And this game now has a more the PSX version of Doom has a more immersive lighting system for the levels at a cost of a notably slower frame rate. There's also Final Doom, but that's a whole different story that will take us forever to talk about.
Yeah.
And then there's the Doom mods, which are all canon. I'm not joking. Okay.
The only Doom I have is like PS1 Doom and the XBLA Doom, which was delisted, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, unless you own Doom 3 on 360, then you have it.
You know, remember Brutal Doom?
I'm more familiar with Brutal Chex Quest.
Oh God.
My friend Biodegradable is probably more familiar with that, but for me, I'm more, when it comes to classic, I'm more of I was for the most part an outsider. Well, kind of. I mean, I mentioned in the previous episode, I played a little bit of Doom 2 growing up, but never got properly into the Doom games, the classic ones at least, until until this year. I mean, I got into the Doom games properly for the first time thanks to Doom 2016 and later Doom Eternal. And that's why a few years later I've decided to buy the classic Doom games 1, 2, and 64. And yeah, as for 3, that's a whole different story. I've decided to save it for later because that's a whole different story. Like I said,
it's definitely the most intentionally scary game.
Yeah, it's more
keyword intentional.
Yeah. And besides, the later Doom games barely acknowledge that one as canon anyway, despite having 3 in its title.
Except Eternal, unfortunately. Eternal makes everything canon, baby. Even Doom 64.
Oh, spoilers.
Which we previously thought was not. We thought Doom 64 was just its own little weird thing.
Yeah,
no, baby.
No, we'll talk about it in detail later. We'll see. Yeah, we'll talk about why it's considered canon, but we'll see. So anyway, in 1997, Williams/Midway Games developed and released Doom 64 for what else? The Nintendo 64. Not only this game was made using the same modified version of the Doom engine that was used for both the Doom PSX and Final Doom, but it also featured a plethora of brand new sprites for demons. Not just demons, also weapons and sound effects. And just like with the other previous games, it features a creepy atmospheric soundtrack composed by, once again, Aubrey Hodges. While I personally prefer the music of Bobby Prince when it comes to classic Doom, I kinda dig Hodges' more ambient horror take on the universe, even if it doesn't fit the more action-oriented segments of the game. What are your thoughts?
I actually, yeah, like, it's funny because I said that, like, Doom 3 is what I would consider to be the most intentionally scary, like, actively trying to scare you Doom game. But Doom 64, I think, takes the atmosphere that was in the previous Doom games. Like, don't get me wrong, I would say Doom 1 more than Doom 2, because I feel like Doom 2 kind of just ended up being more action-oriented because, I mean, for its own reasons. But Doom 1 definitely did have some levels and some themes that were meant to be more atmospheric than originally, and I think Doom 64 took that as like, oh, okay, well then we'll expand on the atmosphere part of Doom.
Yeah, because even the lighting system from the PSX version of Doom is also back for Doom 64, even if it's for a different console. Yeah, so now for the longest time, this game officially never got released outside of the Nintendo 64. Officially. Emphasis on that. But thankfully, in 2020, it finally got the remaster treatment thanks to Night Dive Studios, and was first bundled with the then upcoming Doom Eternal as a pre-order bonus. Before getting its standalone release on all digital stores, including the Stadia.
Oh.
Topical.
Yes.
Yep, the Stadia. Anyway, now some may not know this, but as Gumshoe pointed out, story-wise, this game is actually a direct sequel to the games that came before it, and after it. But we'll get to that later. It's set after the events of Doom 2. Set after the events of Doom 2, an evil entity known as the Mother Demon, who supposedly died with the rest of the demons who attempted to invade Earth and Mars, has somehow survived. And not only is she resurrecting all the demons that were slain by an unnamed hero, known by fans as Doom Guy, but they're now mutated and more dangerous than before. Now with the world under yet another demonic threat, it's up to Doom Guy once again to rise up, overcome the trauma he was struggling with from fighting the forces of hell, and go on a quest that will take him between Earth and Hell to seek and destroy the Mother Demon and every mutated hellspawn that stands in his way. That's the best.
Alien 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
But you know, hell involved. You gotta just...
Yeah, this is as best as I could to summarize the game's story, because there's something about the satellite, and something, and they kind of expand on the Doom Guy struggling with.
There's lore.
Yes,
but there's not really story. I think that's the best way to put it with Doom 64.
Yeah, I never really registered Doom as really having a story, yet alone an overarching one.
Yeah,
it does, but it's always in the background.
Yes. Huh. Yeah, and if you look at I think the tie-in comics and this stuff like that, which is also another thing that Doom Eternal referenced, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, again, Eternal was just mad, being like, "We're gonna make everything canon," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, yeah. Now, gameplay-wise, this game plays almost the same as the previous games. You progress through multiple levels, unlock doors or platforms using colorful keys and skulls, and switches that you must locate. Find the exit, and kill as many demons in your path as possible with your arsenal of weapons that you will find and collect along the way. Speaking of weapons, every weapon from the previous game is back. But there's one new weapon that gets introduced in this game and would remain exclusive to Doom 64 for more than 2 decades. And that is the Unmaker. More on it later. Now, back to the levels. Something that's interesting about the ones in this game is that many of them were designed with traps and ambushes in them. Whether it's a hallway full of crushing platforms, a room with lots of walls shooting arrows at you, and or even ones that shoot homing missiles at you. Also some levels have teleporting keywords. Teleporting keywords, sorry. Key cards and skulls to mess with the player, and others feature puzzles of all things. Yeah, this game has some puzzles. But there are far few in between, and don't overstay their welcome. So yeah, if you thought the Doom one, especially the ones, the levels designed by, what's his name again? Sandy Peterson, had some, gotcha moments. Yeah, 64 has a lot of those. Especially the ones that involve ambushes and traps.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Doom 64 had quick saving?
Yes.
Like originally?
Originally, no, no idea. But for the remaster, yeah. You can even.
I know that the remaster ports have quick saving, but yeah, I was gonna say because it's like those does that's basically like old school. PC mentality was that they expected you to basically be quick saving like almost all the time.
Yes. There's no way it can do this, without quick saving, because there's a level I'll mention why it's impossible without quick saving. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Okay, so some of you might be wondering, especially if you're familiar with classic Doom, does this game have secret levels? Well, of course they do. There are a total of 4 levels in this game. 3 can be accessed from secret exit located in certain levels, and 1 requires a certain trick in order to unlock its exit. We'll save that one for last. So what's interesting about these secret levels in this game is that they serve a purpose. Remember the Unmaker, the new weapon we find in this game? Well, when you first find it, it's completely underpowered and weak. It's basically a laser cannon of some sort. However, in each of the 3 levels, secret levels, there are hidden items called demon keys. Collecting one would not only upgrade the weapon's rate of fire and its power, and how many lasers it shoots, but also, without spoiling too much, will help you make the final level a lot more easier to complete. Word of advice, if you're playing this for the first time, make sure to pick up at least 2 of the demon keys. Getting them all would be even better. You may wanna look at a guide or have a keen sense of exploration to find the secret exit that leads to them. So yeah, that's the problem with the secret levels in Doom 1 and 2. They're like an extra goodie, like for a little reward, but that's about it. For the keen players who like to explore a lot, especially with the hidden areas, because these also are back for 64 hidden secret areas that have ammo and power-ups. For Doom 64, the secret levels serve more of a purpose here than the previous games.
Because I don't remember getting very far in 64 from what I tried. I think my brother had like a Switch copy that he got for super cheap, and I was lost on the first level. So I wanted to play more because it seemed really cool. Like the whole thing, because it's given how much there is in it, because it is weird they still kept the title of 64 even when it reached other platforms, but that's just part of the name.
I mean, you can't.
It's not just a straight Doom 1 port.
Yeah, you can't copyright a number. That's the thing. So they kept it.
They kept it, yeah. It's the 64th Doom. Just call it that.
Anyway.
Well, if we are to count, I guess I don't know, but yeah, the secret levels. Now, when I first played the game, I only got 1 of them. I didn't use a guide during my playthrough, so I missed a lot of secrets. And I only managed to get 1 of them. I found 2 secret levels, but I only got 1 of the D's, and it made that final boss a lot harder than it probably should have been.
Yeah. I missed one, but I missed one when I first played this game, and after I later found out that I missed a secret level, I decided to always keep a guide on standby to know where the other 2, the rest of the secret levels are.
Does this have a map like the previous one?
It does.
It does.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
But
the
it
only
is
way
exactly
I've
like
found
the
it
previous
possible.
ones where it really only fills in as you move along.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I actually found out the 3 secret levels, but there's also the 4th level that I'm gonna talk about in a moment that I also found out, but I had a guide to find it because there's no way you can find this super secret one on your own.
What is the super secret one?
Well, for the 4th secret level, it's called Hectic. It's a lot more trickier to find as it requires blowing all the explosive barrels in level 1 in a certain order. Completing the secret challenge will open a secret exit to this level. So in order to unlock this secret exit for this one, for the Hectic, it's on level 1, you have to blow up all the barrels in this level except the first one. The first one you see when you enter when you first drop into the level. You save that one for last. Once you do that, a secret exit will be revealed to you. It'll take you to a portal, and then you'll be taken to Hectic, the super secret level. So, Hectic is easily the hardest secret level in the game, if not the hardest level in the game overall. And there's no way you can beat it without saves coming your way through it. You spawn in a central room where the exit is right behind you, but it's locked. So there's also another exit that will get you out of the level, but will not send you. And it will send you back to the main levels without the rewards for the exiting the levels through the main exit. So there's a reward, but you only get it if you beat the level after collecting all the 3 skulls. Now to unlock the main exit, you must collect 3 colorful skulls that each located in a room full of traps and ambushes that will most likely gonna kill you on your first playthrough. Which is why I recommend quick saving a lot if you want to beat this level. Yeah, and all these armor sets and supercharged power-ups in this central area, do not pick them. They're all there to lure you into the traps that will kill you on the spot. So if you somehow manage to beat Hectic by exiting through the main exit, you unlock a special reward before being sent back to the main levels, which we'll talk about later. So have you ever unlocked that Hectic level, Gumshoe?
No, I knew. I later found out about it, and I've always been meaning to replay the Doom 64 because I do kind of. Also just to actually play all the secret levels because spoiler, I do actually like Doom 64 quite a bit. But yeah, once I found out about that, I'm like, dang. I saw a gameplay video of that level, and I'm like, wow, this is, yeah, it's hard. It probably is the hardest classic Doom level.
Yeah,
I would say.
Because there's a room where you get ambushed by a shit ton of Arachnatrons, and yeah, I mean,
that's oh great, and it's the beginning of the game. So you know how much weapons you have at the beginning of the game?
Yeah. And then there's a room where it's full of walls, traps that shoot arrows at you, and if you're not too careful, it's probably gonna kill you immediately if you're not too careful. And then
there's not a lot of leeway at all.
Yeah. And then
granted,
yeah,
that Doom likes to do that sometimes too. I think of the first kind of starting levels of the 4th Doom campaign in the first game, where they just throw so many imps at you and you're just kind of helpless for a bit. But the point about that is that usually that's well, they just want you to get from point A to point B fast, so then you can actually fight them, pretty much. And then usually they'll start to give you some more leeway and stuff. But that level is no.
I can't blame you.
You will be quick saving all the time.
Yes, there's no way you can beat it without quick saving. I didn't mention the last room, and this last room is it's like a pit of pit of acid. I think it's lava. A pit of lava that has a few tight platforms that takes you from point A to the other side, and we get to pick the yellow card. No, not the yellow. The blue card key. The blue skull, And once you, I think it's a blue skull. And once you pick it, not only the other side of the platform, the other side of the room has a ceiling that will crush you if you stay for too long, but also on both sides you're gonna be ambushed by like 4 or 6 what are they called again? Barons of Hell. And you're in this tight platforms that you can barely move between them, and these couple Barons of Hell shooting at you, and by this time you only have you probably should be having the rocket launcher, but even if you have the rocket launcher has a kickback. So between fighting the kickback, walking on a tight platformers, and avoiding getting shot by those Barons of Hell, and avoiding falling into the pit of lava, yeah, it's frustrating. You gotta find yourself quick loading a lot in this room. It's gonna test your patience.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. No, I'm not good at regular Doom anyway. It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to get through that?
Yeah.
Quick saving.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I'm so glad. Does it ever come? Is there any rewind like that Duke Nukem port at all, or is it just
No.
No, okay.
Just quick saving and loading.
But yeah, that's kind of the thing with Doom too, like original Doom, is that they're assuming that you know how to quick save and that you're using quick saves like pretty frequently,
Yes.
to get past things or save slots, because you can also just kind of pause the game and save too. So
Yeah,
that's a thing.
These
It's just a different. It's just a different mentality. That's really the only. That's really the only part.
Yeah, because keep in mind that the original Doom games were made on DOS in mind, so
Yeah.
yeah, these games were played on computers, so yeah, they expect.
And that's also the reason why like the first Doom was split up into so many like chapters, because they assumed that like you wouldn't have all the time to just sit down and like play them all.
Well, that
right,
and
or, like play the full
Thankfully they
thing.
did that, yeah.
yeah, and that and the fact that its software were self-publishing it on an unlimited budget,
Yep.
so that way.
It was a limited budget. They had that, and they could also sell the first chapter as you know, freeware, pretty much.
Yes.
So, which is why it was on everything. Which is why Doom was on everything. It was a very good strategy.
Yeah. But we've talked about Doom 1 and 2 a lot in the previous episode, so we're not gonna spend a lot of time on that part. So yeah, moving on, back to Doom 64. So personally, yeah, I beat Hectic, and I'll tell you what do you get when you beat that level. So moving on to the demons. The demons in this game, many of them return from the previous games, but not only they're sporting different sprite work, but different designs as well. Most notably the Cacodemon and the Pale Elemental, which look nothing like their Doom 1 and 2 counterparts, especially the Pain Elemental. Have you seen what it looks like? I mean,
The Pain Elemental is in more pain.
yeah, I mean, it had 2 mouths.
I haven't seen either. I'd have to look them up. So Pain Elemental 64.
And compare. If according to a reviewer I've seen their review of this game, Trav Guy, he said the Pale Elemental in the classic Doom 1 and 2 is like the goofy little brother of the Cacodemon, and here's like,
Oh yeah, the funny eye. Yes.
yeah, and then this one, is like, what the fuck have they done to him? Done to it?
And this one is the wary of who you call ugly in high school.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
oh boy. The Pain Elementals are also way more annoying in like 64. I think they're just a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, we'll get to, I was about to mention that. We'll get to that soon. So yeah, like I said, the Cacodemons from the Cacodemons and the Pale Elemental from 1 and 2, they look nothing like. They look nothing in 64. They look nothing alike. There are 2 new demons introduced in this game. The Phantom Imps, which is probably just a slightly more powerful variation of the regular imps, which are now translucent and purple, and shoot purple fireballs. It's supposed to be a little more powerful. And the final boss of the game, the Mother Demon, which is incredibly hard to defeat without having the proper weapons against her.
They found some pain in the ass.
What? Can you repeat that?
Do you like bullet hells in Doom?
Doesn't sound very fun.
No.
Basically what it is.
Oh.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
They are
At
a
point.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if you have the Unmaker charged up, then it's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make sure you collect all the demon keys, and the Unmaker's
It's
pretty much.
it really is kind of like the old school video game mentality of like, yeah, this is hard, but if you have that secret thing that's in this guide somewhere, then this is the way to beat the game, pretty much. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It really is that. It is that mentality. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mentioned, most of the demons from the original games are back. 2 new demons introduced. One is a color variation with a little powerful one, and the mother demon. But there's no revenants, archviles, or spider masterminds in this one.
Thank God, no archviles.
Yeah.
I know how
That
much
would make the game so much harder. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm glad the archviles are not in this game. Damn. These 3 monsters were cut mostly to technical limitations of the N64 back in 1997. As their behavior during combat, it probably would have been hard to as the developers say, give them justice. But I think it's for the best that the archvile got cut, in my opinion. But other than that, when it comes to combat, they're pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same, though. But if you think that the Lost Souls were annoying in Doom 1 and 2, they're even more aggressive and deal more damage in 64 than ever before, making the Pale Elementals, by proxy, more dangerous than ever before. So if you see a Pale Elemental during combat, ignore every demon in the area and focus entirely on the Pale Elementals. Because sometimes the game will throw a lot of Pale Elementals at you, and these fuckers will spit a lot of Lost Souls at you. And like I said, the Lost Souls in this game are a lot more faster and aggressive. So, yeah. And keep in mind, I was playing this on medium, but yeah, they take a huge chunk of your health if you're not too careful. So yeah.
A lot to take in.
If you want my recommendation, use the chain gun against them. That will keep them at bay. For the Lost Souls, because then you won't give them a chance to recover or to approach you. Because with the shotgun, at least when Doom guy reloads his weapon, there's a chance they're gonna attack you while during the reload animation. Not with the chain gun. Okay, so now aside from the main story campaign, which is comprised of 25 levels, 29 if we count the secret levels, there are 4 quote-unquote fun levels that cannot be accessed through normal means. Remember earlier when I said that beating Hectic, the super secret level, unlocks a special reward? Well, by beating it, you unlock the features menu, which not only allows you to use cheats that breaks the game in your favor, because every Doom game has cheats, but also warps you to any level you want, including the super hidden fun levels. They're pretty simple, small, and comprised of nothing but enemy gauntlets that ends with a fight against one or several cyber demons. Spoilers, the cyber demons are back in this game. My favorite fun level are the Cat and Mouse and Playground, while others, Hardcore and Panic, didn't enjoy as much. At the end of the day, these levels are optional. They're only available as a little bonus. Nothing more, nothing less. Like if you're playing this on an Xbox or a PlayStation, you get an achievement or trophy for beating at least one of them. So you don't have an incentive to beat all of them. But if you're gonna have to play a couple of them, I recommend Cat and Mouse and Playground. Maybe the 4th level, Panic. But yeah, avoid hardcore. It's terrible. Fuck that level. I didn't even bother beating it. Yeah, and then yeah, so
and those are just optional, like optional upon optional.
oh yeah, we'll get to that. The other part of the game. Now for the original release of this game, that was pretty much it. However, the 2020 remaster by Night Dive Studios, for this one, they've decided to add a couple extra stuff for this one. Not only they've added an extra fun level, so they were originally just 3, but decided to add a 4th one, and that is the Panic one, I believe. But also a new story campaign called The Lost Levels. It's comprised of 6 levels, and it's set after the events of the original campaign of Doom 64. Basically, Doom Guy gets kicked out of Hell, so he goes back, kills the Mother Demon's sister, who's called the Resurrector, and he stays there to ensure that Hell never gets to invade Earth ever again.
And then Doom 2016 happens.
Yep. Spoilers, 2016 is not a reboot. It's a sequel to Doom 64. And for...
Nifty.
Yeah?
Yeah. But Tish.
What? What? Did I say? Well, I just said nifty.
I know. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, so you just want to keep in mind. So Doom in the 64th game, he doomed so many times that that was a giant time skip, and then now he's on the 2016th time he doomed. That's this next time we see him. So wow.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, after the events of the Lost Levels, the forces of Hell eventually contained Doom Guy and put him in a sarcophagus. How do you pronounce that thing?
Sarcophagus.
Yeah, sarcophagus.
Yes, sarcophagus. Yeah, and for the longest time he was trapped there until the events of 2016 happened. And not only this connecting Doom. The Lost Levels pretty much connects this game to Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Yeah, because the Unmaker. The Unmaker is that's a weapon that would later make an appearance in Doom Eternal as an unlockable weapon.
It's basically really only good for like a certain few demons. Other than that, you're gonna use the BFG because it uses the same ammo as BFG.
Yes, same with Doom 64. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both use plasma ammo, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with Doom 64, I pretty much completed the trilogy of the classic Doom games. And what do I think of Doom 64? I liked it. It's, in my opinion, it's the real Doom 3.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay with Doom 3 itself. I mean, it was fine. I mean, I played the BFG version, so of course I had the benefit of the extra flashlight.
Yeah.
And I know that game was not built around having it all the time, so I could understand some balancing was a bit weird, but yeah.
I played the original version.
Yeah, I do own an OG.
I still have for the original Xbox version. I still have that.
Yeah.
And you can play it on Steam, I believe. It's available there.
BFG only.
Is it? I'm pretty sure I heard you can. Okay, maybe not on Steam, perhaps. Because I've seen some people.
I don't know. I don't think you can get the original 3 digitally anywhere.
Because I've seen a few people that managed to play it on PC and did a little bit of modding on it.
That is the BFG version. Yeah, you're talking about the one that has the VR mod. That is the BFG version.
Oh no, not
modded.
No, I'm talking about the original Doom, the original Doom 3. Okay, because I've heard because recently a friend of the show and
there was. I mean, it was also released for PC, like when Doom 3. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. You can get both versions on Steam. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just told. Yeah. I totally forgot. It's I think it's consoles, like basically.
Consoles digitally, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The consoles digitally, like I think it's only.
Because Yeah, that's.
Oh no, they did. Oh no, yeah, right, because they did re-release like Doom 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Yeah, you're right. They
Yeah,
did.
like extra flashline, some other stuff. They had some more story things.
Like base Doom 3 they actually did re-release. So yeah, now you actually can get it on multiple digital fronts now. So
Oh, so the recent re-release is actually the original Doom 3?
It's the original Doom 3, but with added
some features.
Yeah.
Add features, because I heard
But
this.
it is based off the original version of
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, so it's different from the BFG edition. Because I know the BFG edition added some changes to the game to the gameplay to make it more closer to the original.
It
Closer.
was mainly the flashlight, and I think some FMV stuff.
It was amazing that and also pushed and also like reworked the game to be more action oriented
Yeah.
too. So there is some. So yeah, there is actually like some differences between each version, but yeah.
I love how the Doom movie actually has a guide on the DVD saying how to play Doom 3. Just like what? Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that.
Anyway, so yeah, I might give Doom 3 a playthrough one day, perhaps. But
You
honestly,
can get it for $5.
yeah, it's cheap. But yeah,
It's very, very cheap. It's probably the cheapest Doom game if you don't count the freeware version.
yeah. So yeah, after playing the classic Doom trilogy, 1, 2, and 64, I can definitely I plan on play. I do have a stronger appreciation for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal now more than ever. And now that I have them under my belt, the classic games, I do plan on revisiting 2016 Eternal one day. For Doom 2016, it's gonna be my third playthrough. But I can't wait to get to Eternal because I've only played the main story campaign for Doom Eternal, but never got to the what's it called the
Ancient Gods.
The
Ancient Gods DLC is really fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've heard. I've heard. Because not only is it something else when it comes to gameplay, but also
Ancient Gods 1 that was like hard as hell at points.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, they throw like two Marauders at the same time, and maybe an army of.
Granted, you do have everything. You do have your full arsenal, so like I get it, but like wow.
Oh, okay, good. Thank God you don't have to collect them again.
Yeah. You have every rune, you have every upgrade, everything's fully upgraded like from the start of those because they do take place after.
Yes.
So
that is correct.
Yeah, you have everything.
So yeah,
that's why they throw.
So yeah, I do eventually gonna get back to 2016 and Eternal one day. But yeah,
Path of Eternal on Game Pass, it's good.
I know Eternal's really good.
Except the stupid online login crap. I have to even get to the title screen. I have to like turn off my Wi-Fi.
Really?
I don't know if that's for anyone else or just the Xbox One version, but I just found that really strange.
I never had that problem, but then again.
Yeah, it's like I can't progress past the thing without the Bethesda login or some shit like that. I don't know if they patched it out.
I think they patched it out. I don't know.
Okay, so hopefully next I play.
I mean, it's been a while. So anyway, so back to Doom 2016. Doom 64. Yeah. I'd give it a recommendation. It's good. I liked it. Yeah, but probably you should play it after you're done with if you haven't played I'd probably recommend it after Doom 1 and 2 if you haven't played those two games before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. I liked it. I liked its different take on that game. Oh, and this is okay, it's kind of related, but I had to throw this out there. The first time I ever saw gameplay of this game, Doom 64, was during 2020. It was clips from Gumshoe is here, so he's gonna plug. It was the series of streams Inogami Corona was doing for this game. That was Inogami Corona, the first Doom game she ever played was Doom 64.
Oh right, yeah, because she did Doom 16.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she did that, but she also did Doom 64.
Oh yeah, the Doom. Yeah, it was later followed by the Doom 2016, and those were some of her best streams ever. A lot of great clips from there. I mean, in Doom Eternal: The Ancient Gods episode 1, there's even an Easter egg that references her, and that they later patched, unfortunately. Like if you're in the runes menu, if you put a certain cheat code, a certain button pattern or something like that, you get the logo of Doom Eternal, but it's called Duke Eternal with the chainsaw sound effects in the background. Because if you didn't know, in Doom 2016, Koroni's favorite weapon is the chainsaw. So yeah, that was yeah. There are definitely fans at id Games that definitely Koroni fans at, or should I say Koroni Sukis at id Software. I believe they even sent her some merchandise as well. So yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that was cool. I was wondering if she'll ever gonna do Doom Eternal one day, but we don't know. It'd be cool if she did it though, but we'll see. So yeah, Doom 2016, Doom 2016, Doom 2016, just doing it again. Doom 64, good game, worth checking out.
Heck yeah, baby. Great game.
Yeah, it's good. If you want to play a classic Doom that feels more like a horror game, a kind of different take on it, but it's actually, a good take. Yeah, worth checking out. 64, go check it out. Play it. It's good. Play the remaster, especially the remaster. That's the best way to play it, to experience this game, and it's cheap anyway. Yeah. Okay, so that was my pick for this episode, Doom 64, a game that you should definitely check it out, especially if you're a Doom fan, a first time Doom fan like me, or a relatively new Doom fan. Doom 64, like I said, I ramble too much. Yeah, worth checking out. Play it. So yeah. Moving on to Otis's pick, it's the last part of this show. The last pick, the last person who's gonna talk about his pick for this episode. So yeah, what do you got for us, Otis?
Okay, so it is a singular game I'm talking about, which is no surprise for me if you know my taste. Bayonetta 2, the Switch version.
Hell yeah!
And it's mainly because the third game is out, I think, next week. Well, this week is 21st, so yeah, another week or so.
Yeah, at the time of this, at the time of this recording, at least.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
by the time you guys will have, by the time this is out, Bayonetta 3 would probably, I think, would already been out.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So
for sure.
So I played 2 as 3 was coming out, but like it's like there was like a massive weird derailment like I didn't see coming, but at the same time some signs were there. So basically, with 3, there's like a huge thing around the main voice actress being replaced because she wasn't paid enough.
Oh yeah,
and then the news broke that apparently she was lying a little bit about that, and about it was more paid per the sessions via the Bloomberg article.
Okay, I didn't know that bit. Right.
So there was a new Bloomberg article that was released about that, basically internally saying that that she wasn't paid that low, but after that she wanted a 6-figure salary, 6 like lump sum after that with royalties, and Platinum was just not willing to do that on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's why.
Because I thought it was 4,000. Yeah, because most people, including me, thought it was 4,000 for like the entire session.
No. It was not. And apparently, she's also done some pretty shitty things too. Won't get into it here, but that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
And at this point, it seems to be a big old.
I stayed out of
official statement.
Who said?
I'm kind of like a distant glancer in this sort of thing. Like, I admit that they do. They do great voice work, but like, on top of, it's the other crappy stuff. That's a bit of a shame. It was like
4,000 to 6,000 per session, and they wanted to do all the voice work within at least 5 to 6 sessions. Which is still it's pretty like, whoa, all of that in that. It does sound like crunch, but
because I'm no voice person, so I don't know how much they ask for.
That's like a little bit. reasonable, but it's also like, okay, that's crunch though.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
Okay.
like even some people on that are like, okay, that's a little. Like,
it's
it
all over
probably
the
should have
place. Yeah.
been a little bit more
Anyway,
sessions than just those.
and summary for this controversy. All I can say about it personally is, from what I understand, everyone is an asshole in this story. There's no good guy here.
Yeah, like I mean, it doesn't help with Kamiya being on his usual blocking tirade.
Yeah, and Platinum saying,
um,
we couldn't hire because the conflicting schedule and stuff.
It's like all this conflicting
Well,
shit.
I mean,
And,
the moment that, because I was looking up the game even before this whole thing broke out, and what was it? And we got that first trailer, and I noticed it was a different voice actor. That was the official statement, and I thought that was fishy as hell.
it was weird, yeah,
Because she's only really, her only noticeable voice credit is Bayonetta.
yes,
Mhm.
From
because
like,
I recognize Yuri Lowenfeld's voice, who's Luca. Like he's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Whereas Bayonetta, yeah, very, very distinguishable tone and voice.
Yes, English. Yeah.
Voiced Rivet in Rift Apart.
Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale. So,
Yes.
like the samples I listened
oh, they got Jennifer Hale.
Like,
Yes.
Jennifer Hale's replacement. Oh, okay.
Yes.
yeah. So,
I mean, I didn't think
I
she's
don't know
bad.
her take on it.
I personally didn't think she's bad, so I'm like, okay.
Oh no, Jennifer.
yeah, I mean,
Jennifer Hale for Jennifer Hale's Bayonetta. In my opinion, it's almost the same from what I've heard.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's
just
still
really
pretty
crappy
good.
circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
like
it just
voice replacement
it just reminds me a lot of the original VA of Albert Resker.
I don't know that, but wow, that's probably
Oh, where
not-
he just broke like NDA like live on a
Oh.
freaking stream,
right.
and then you find out that
Yeah.
like he's actually just a pretty shitty person.
Yeah. Like the really sucky thing about this is that we know this. I know this game is going to be still very good, but this is like a big blemish publicity-wise.
The only thing people are going to talk about,
It's the only thing.
which
yeah.
is
and
why
I'm like,
today we're
that's why-
talking about
That's
Bayonetta
why I
2.
stayed out of it. Like
Mm.
I don't even know if I'll tweet the fact that I got the deluxe version, like the one with the art book. So I would have normally just held off because of all this crap, but you can't buy that version anymore. Like
yeah,
the
no,
big-
yeah,
big
that's
version.
gone.
So I thought, okay, I'm gonna stick with this because I know, like, knowing Nintendo stuff, this shit does not go down in price.
No.
So it's like, I'm staying away from all the Twitter drama. and all
Me
that,
lamenting the fact that I could not get the Xenoblade 3 Special Edition.
No. Well, what I'm actually willing to do is possibly I'll make scans of the special edition sleeves if you ever wanted to see those.
Fair enough.
I'd be
sure.
willing to do that and share them.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, someone's probably gonna get to it before I do, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I mean, hopefully it'll arrive. Hopefully that version will arrive the day of, because I'll be out at a convention though
Oh well.
the same day. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about Free itself. So
Yeah. Back
it's
to
not the only release pub
Yes.
that a Bayonetta game has had. Because they were supposed to be releasing a version of 1 physically this month,
Yes.
and we don't know where it is. Nintendo UK site, they had some downtime. I actually followed their Twitter so I could wonder when it was coming out, and apparently it's going to be like a limited print, and it's like, dude, it's a 10-year-old game. Like, this shouldn't be a problem.
And it's half
It's
the
already on
Well, it
the.
already is. It's well, at the very least, at least you can get it separately digitally.
You can get it separately digitally, but it's just like, well, if there's a car option, that's what I want. You can get like a Japan version, like apparently pretty cheaply. Well, moderately so. It's still kind of pricey. So if the Nintendo option goes bust, I'll just get the Japan version because it's still in English. Because it only relies on your system language, and I think it's English by default anyway, even in Japan.
Yep, it is one of those Japan games that has
Yeah.
that the default is English, which there are more than most people are probably aware of.
Because I didn't even know a solo version of 1 from Japan even existed, because I thought it was just the non-stop. It was from the non-stop climax edition of 1 and 2, where that one goes for at least 600.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That reminds me. The reason why it goes English for default for the Bayonetta 1 is because when this game first came out on the 360 and PS3, the English voice acting was the only option for this game. There was no.
Oh really? So there was no Japanese dub.
There was no Japanese.
Until the Wii U and the Switch version, I believe.
Keep in mind, this
Yeah.
is Platinum. Platinum has definitely have more of an I wouldn't say like entirely like the biggest market is the Western audience, but they definitely have like a big appeal in the West, more
Yes.
so than other game companies. So like they can do something like that and still like make a good profit.
Yes.
So-
Yeah. Because actually, you mentioned that old 360 version. I think I practically own every version of Bayonetta 1 and the 2 versions of 2. I've like 2 versions of 2's disc for Wii U because my brother got me one. Thinking I didn't have it for some
I own
reason.
2 versions of Bayonetta. One was a 360 where I first played the first for like $5, and then I eventually got the Switch version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the
With Bayonetta 2 Switch. I still have not played Bayonetta 2, but I did play Bayonetta 1. I'm almost done with my playthrough of Bayonetta 1 on the Switch.
Personally, I only own the Wii U version. That's the one I played back in 2019. Yes, 2019.
Same. I got that day one, and that was a simple release. You get 1 and 2, both on discs. That makes sense.
Yes.
Whereas with 2, you get a download code for 1.
Yes.
And the alternative sleeve is just Bayonetta 1, so you can't even display 2 without the download 1 here stuff on it. So it's like, oh great.
And if you get the 2 on the Switch used, the code is pretty much useless.
It was still like 40 for you. I mean, it was still good price for Bayonetta 2 because it's worth that amount. But anyway, weird releases aside, so I'll briefly mention the plot of 1 because.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, I'm not spoiling anything here because some people have like criticized the plots of the Bayonetta games where they say, oh, they don't make any sense. Whereas I would call them followable, but there is a lot of like they're deliberately nonsensical. I would say, but they
this ain't like DMC where it's just a simplistic base and then they have fun with it. This is more of there's a complexity of webs, but it's saying it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Since I believe you're a fan of that the series I'm gonna mention, is it as complex as Kingdom Hearts or
what? No.
Oh, God. I have not touched
no.
Kingdom Hearts in ages, so I wouldn't know.
Oh no, it definitely is
Yeah,
not.
but
When I
simple
mean
by
complexity, I mean it deals a lot more with the nature of like the 3 realms from Dante's in Inferno. That's a huge part, and the balance between that all, which DMC just never even touched. Like it's not. I'm concerned about
Surprisingly,
that.
didn't know, despite having characters called Dante and Virgil.
yeah.
Despite that, it was really just centered around, hey, what's Dante's deal, and that was it. Like.
Yeah.
Which Bayonetta 1's plot pretty much is, but it also throws in this other bigger.
Yeah. There's a lot of similar
aspect.
imagery in like DMC 4 and Bayonetta 1, actually.
Actually, there and DMC 2.
And
too.
DMC 2, yes.
DMC, as someone who replayed DMC 2 recently, don't ask why.
Yeah.
I started to notice that, like, oh my god, a lot of the cityscapes and stuff is like very similar. It's very weird. So, but yeah, especially 4, which is also funny because they were developed, around the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, different developing teams, obviously, and they splintered off. So it's not like they had communications, but it's very, very weird, especially with the enemy designs.
I mean,
I can describe. Oh, sorry.
I mean, there's even a line where a line in the first Bayonetta where she sees a flying. With Bayonetta sees a flying demon, an angel with feathers and stuff like that, and tells him to flock off. Tells him, "Flock off, bird face." That's straight up. Yes, that's
there's that, and she does straight up just say, "Let's rock."
Yes.
So
That's straight up from Devil May Cry 1.
yeah.
So the way I could summarize like both games' plots, because I wouldn't call them the exact same, but they share a lot of similar elements, are very bizarre road trips. That's what I would summarize them as, because you're kind of like wandering through these massive areas, a lot of visual variety, and it's just to get from, 2 is essentially you're trying to get to a mountain,
Yes.
but everything is trying to stop you. Like the mountain is the goal, but it's the crazy shit you see on the way, and what you see is, again, nothing too deep, but it's like it's fun. It gets you to where you need to go. You know, big. The mountains cause something like silly.
No,
like
it's God of War 3. It's not really.
That's
you just get into a place.
Mount Olympus, yeah.
Yeah, you just get into that. You just get into that place in that game, but on the way.
Yes,
Like
getting to that is like you get all this divergent shit, and that's what the real fun is. But yeah, it's the plot also it does tie into one
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
I won't say how, but it is interesting because I'm curious. It's like how many people, because say if you did buy 2 on Switch and you couldn't be bothered to download 1, how many people would be confused the fuck out just by playing 2 alone? Like, I guess you could, but it's like, no, play them as like a duology. Like, it's practically essential.
Yeah.
But then, I guess you could.
Oh,
if
you know,
didn't really care.
You know, that reminds me of a real friend of mine who, before I played the series, he says you should play 2 before 1 because, because 2 was supposed to be.
I would advise against that.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't go with that. I went with release dates.
There's a very clever gag related to that I will not say either. But as I say, like you can play both together. It's a great duology.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just all about how much like crazy shit can be thrown at you, and like it's how it ramps up, just like the first game, and that's the main appeal of the Bayonetta games. And with like 3, I'm very curious, like the fact you control fucking monsters now. It's like, okay, that's. Yeah. They just constantly.
And they actually are. It looks like they are introducing a new, at least somewhat, might be playable character. I mean, honestly, this looks like Bayonetta's version of Nero.
Yes, so it probably is a direct reference. Yeah,
Viola.
It really looks like okay, but that's
I'm
okay.
curious.
I like Nero, unlike most people. But I like Nero.
With Nero, he was great. I even liked him in 4.
Yeah, like, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Messy development aside, yes.
Yeah,
but anyway, so the port itself, even as a Switch game, so this was like 4 years after the Wii U one was out. In fact, people at the time were really pissed that it was a Wii U exclusive because, well, Nintendo practically saved it from cancellation. Like, it was going to be multi-format, I think.
Yes.
It was. I don't know the full details, but it was like, Nintendo funded it partially. So Bayonetta has a weird split between Platinum, Sega, and Nintendo.
Yes.
And it's such a bizarre thing. Like, being like a main, sort of Wii U supporter back when it was a fresh format, I was all for this. I mean, the whole platform exclusivity thing, I don't really give a crap now. It still sucks when it's like, oh, really? This could have been multi-format or whatever. But sometimes it's like, okay, if the game would have literally not existed if not for them, then okay, I sort of get it. What was it? And like, Platinum games never really age visually, I would say. Like, at least not majority of them. Like, yeah, there's going to be those like low-res textures here and there, but honestly, the game still looks really fucking good for a Switch, like, Wii U port on Switch.
Especially Bayonetta 2, because it's a lot more colorful.
Oh, 2, yes. No, I actually started my playthrough on a train. Like, it was a 3-hour train journey, and I thought, okay, I could boot up Animal Crossing, I could boot up Zelda. No, Bayonetta 2, fuck yeah. And it was. I wonder of the looks, like, because I was, playing it, on a public space. I had my headphones in and such. I wonder what the fuck the people behind me thought. You see this half-naked witch lady flying through the air, and then there's like an ass shot of her in the intro.
Yep.
I actually took a video of like me, starting the game up, and it was like, gonna be here for like 3 hours. It just zips on by when you like, you're playing something as like high octane as that. But yeah, like the fact, like I didn't notice any like drops or anything, and I tried it. I mean, it looks just as good on like a full display. It's that sort of thing of using the hardware smartly. Yeah. I would say. Because there's all these games with like the biggest file sizes and they still can't run properly.
Yeah.
You look at something like Cyberpunk, and then it took several patches to get that working better.
Oh god. Yeah,
Not played it for myself, but
I have played it, and I played Cyberpunk when it got the next gen update, and then I actually didn't have any crashes.
oh, good.
So
Hey, that's a plus.
that's my experience. Is I waited until the next gen version got like available, and then I only had one time where I no clipped. That was once out of like 40 something hours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not bad.
Bayonetta is not a game I could imagine ever clipping. It's like one of those like very polished sort of releases, whereas anything else I'm a bit like, oh, something gonna break here. Like any sort of other release. Not doesn't speak for every game, but like, Platinum's like I'd say output is mostly quality. They have had their flubs here and there, like the aforementioned Babylon's Fall.
Yeah.
Where, you can't play it anymore, so I don't know.
And they say that they plan on making more live service games in the future.
No, they
Well,
don't.
fuck them then.
Yeah.
No, it's to give me the
Probably-
single player shit. That's what
They
you're good
probably
at.
won't now.
Stick to that.
Yeah, I hope they
But,
don't. I hope they don't. Anyway.
Anyway, mentioning the gameplay, so combat is just as good as 1, but more refined. I actually died less because the difficulty was, I would say, a little more balanced, even on normal. Because even 1 on normal will like kick your ass, especially in later levels.
Oh hell yeah.
Because I fucking hated the enemies that were like they had these flaming gloves. I don't remember their names.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They're horrible. They're horrible to deal with in 1. Whereas 2, I felt I could actually fight them. They were still challenging.
Yeah, with those, I just ended up like switching to the sword or something.
I was mostly sword and whips in this one. Another improvement was no QTEs outside of combat, because seriously, 1 will like trip you up with, suddenly press forward and B to jump a clock tower. Oh wait, suddenly you died. That'll affect your rank, and it's like it's complete bullshit, basically.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about Bayonetta 1. It has those
The only flaw, I would say,
yeah,
throughout the entire experience of 1.
Yeah, they had those do or die QTEs, which thank God
Yes,
they didn't
and
bring
you
them back
don't-
for this
you
one.
don't know when they appear. Whereas, I'm fine with the whole mash a button a bajillion times in combat because that works.
Yes. Yes.
And even if you don't press it enough, the scene still happens. But yeah. So yeah, you don't just suddenly die. And also, I think I actually got more sort of platinum ranks. I was mostly gold, sometimes a silver, because I tend to over dodge a bit too much. Where like I'll sometimes dodge a bit too early, but then I equip like a power up that it alleviates damage. I think it's some early thing you can buy. This was on top of like stuff that you can unlock using amiibos, because you can just get like a shitload of halos that way. The currency.
Oh yeah, you can use amiibos.
Yeah, the
of course.
that was a funny thing actually. They actually removed Miiverse stamps, because you could earn those in the original port.
Oh yeah, by the time I played this,
remember Miiverse?
yeah, by the time I played the Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U back in 2019, yeah, the Miiverse was pretty much dead.
Yes, but no, I still used it while I was active. Yeah, the stamps were like fine. I guess someone's probably archived them somewhere. And they're nothing too special, but it was fun. You could unlock those. But yeah, I can understand removing them because they literally serve no purpose.
Yeah.
It's barely noticeable. Yeah, exploration-wise in the game. So you go around. So it's not just a straight A to B. There are like challenges you can find off to the side. In fact, I would say that the challenge portals are a lot less obtuse to find. There are most that I missed. So there is still more to see and do. But most were kind of, I would probably say, a little too obvious. Like you see like a glowing blue portal on the way to a main goal. And it's like, well, got to do this then. Because it will provide you with like an extra witch heart or a pearl to expand your magic or health bar limit, which is definitely needed, especially for later enemies. Let's see. Oh yeah, all the costumes. They kept all the costumes in. I mostly played in the Star Fox outfit.
What?
Because there's one level that involves an R-wing. I won't say how, but it's especially cool. It's kind of funny because it plays better than Star Fox Zero.
Funny thing is, this level in particular would inspired Nintendo to contact Platinum to make Star Fox Zero.
Yeah, it really was.
I knew it was like, it's funny because it's like, you have this one level that honestly impresses more than their... Okay, I don't hate Zero, but like, it makes it terrible to play on... So, say if someone was emulating Star Fox Zero, how the hell would you do it? Because it's...
Yeah.
Like, it's reliant on the dual screen thing, whereas you could have easily made it, you know, not do that. I don't know, it's like, there's so many... That's a game I keep forgetting is actually Platinum developed.
Yeah.
And that is one I would like to go back to, except I need to fix my gamepad because there's like a weird lag between the screen. I mean, apparently it's like something you need to solder, which, you know, I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to ask someone else to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was mentioning weapons earlier, so I mostly stuck with like both pistols and whips on the legs and the dual swords, because the whips have stupidly long reach, especially with the what is it? It was like, it wasn't okay. In addition to like Witch Time, you have like a magic meter that when you hit L, you get like super powered up, and it makes attacks like hit twice as hard, and like the reach is like ridiculously long. So you could just like hit enemies from like a massive distance with your whip legs. And even with the swords, like it sends out like massive beams. So it kind of ties back to how it may be a little too easy, but also it's like, well, at least it feels like you can finish the game instead of it kicking your ass constantly.
Yeah.
But that's again, that's my only real main criticism of 2 is the fact like maybe some players might find it a bit too easy. I should play it on like a harder difficulty, but I think that's only worth doing once you've unlocked some stuff, because then you'd be in for more of a fair challenge, I would say.
Oh yeah.
And of course, with all the crap you got to unlock, there's like other characters you can unlock, some of which like there's one that literally costs like the maximum amount of money you can get. It's like 9999999. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get that on any first, second, or third playthrough, I don't think.
An extra character? Was it the road?
Yeah, extra characters. There's multiple.
Oh, okay.
I only know of one, which I'm not going to say, but like the rest, I'm like, okay, they're completely out of my knowledge zone. I can kind of guess one, but that's about it, really. So yeah, I mean, as I say, I think that's kind of the maximum of what I have to say about it, because there really isn't anything wrong with the game at all. Like, you know, it's just like with, it's just like I kind of worried about its future reputation with the whole like voice thing, but of course, I do hope that the game at least reviews well.
Yeah, because
while acknowledging, you know, yeah, this was a crappy thing to happen to it, like literally a week or 2 weeks before launch.
Yeah, because Platinum games really need a hit right now. The last hit game they made that sold so well was Nier Automata, but that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, the Switch port. I heard that was actually a pretty good port of Automata.
Yeah, it runs at 30 FPS, but it's a stable 30 FPS.
Oh yeah, as long, and it also includes all the DLC. So hey,
yeah,
that's a funny thing to bring up.
The one bit of DLC.
Yeah, the one with the ridiculously long, and then you get some new outfits as well. So yeah, the funny thing is, I'm to briefly bring this up. I would say, Nier Automata had that whole thing where so the plot is immaculate in that game, but I would say replayability suffers because of that. Whereas Bayonetta, the plot is so loose and goofy that it's easier to go back to.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, I get it. Because from what I've heard, I never played this game, but from what I've heard, in order to get the true ending for Nier Automata, you have to beat it multiple times and unlock all the endings.
Multiple times, and it's
without spoiling anything. Basically, they use the fact of multiple playthroughs to do something different each playthrough. So it's technically beating the game multiple times, but it really is one playthrough.
I love,
unlike Nier, the first Nier, where I will say that is actually more like playing the game multiple times, with things are different each time.
Yeah.
And that's
no, with Automata, I loved what they did with that whole thing. It's great, but honestly, it did get very draining after a while, where it's like, oh god, what am I missing now? And it's like...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead, go on.
No, as I say, it, like, the multiple playthroughs, while it was, like, fascinating, like, story-wise, but it was, like, it got draining. I shouldn't have, like, done it in such quick succession. Like I should have spaced it out more, but of course, I don't know. Maybe if I wanted to replay it on Switch, then that's probably like an easier thing to attain. I don't know, but yeah, as I say, I think it's just the gameplay that holds the glue together for both. I would say.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm glad that Bayonetta embraces itself with being as goofy as it is, and it actually kind of takes those stables of something like, say, Devil May Cry 3, but like. Massively updating them. There's a lot more like flexibility in how you play.
Yeah.
Practically, you take those same design philosophies, and it's like, hey, let's ramp this up. Make every boss, every boss the next just standard enemy. Like that's always what stood out for me, and a lot of people. It's like you could go from fighting like, oh, massive angel guy. Next is like 2 of them later down the line, and that's just a standard enemy by now.
Yeah.
But and you have those other. I mean, as I say, I'm a little worried about as I say, the company's decisions and all that. Just a bit like, what are they doing? And it's like, I mean, even with their licensed game stint, the best thing out of their repertoire was Transformers. Which, hey,
Yes.
if I finish that, I might talk about that next. Because that's a much shorter game, I think. I actually bought the PS4 version after owning like 2 other versions.
That was the first game I played on the PS4, Transformers Devastation.
Yeah, one introduction. It was delisted digitally, actually. Yeah, I never got to play Korra. The TMNT one, I don't see myself upgrading in terms of platform because, like, I would have loved to have played multiplayer with someone on that, but no, it's like it's not even local. It's like, I mean, do you remember Anarchy Reigns from Platinum?
Oh hell yeah!
I do actually.
I only played it single player because no one played it multiplayer. And it's like, damn, that would have been so fun. You could even play as Bayonetta through some DLC.
Yeah, that's what I did when I played the game back in 2019.
Yeah, I only played the single player mode. The mode is good, but it's like, I wanted to experience multiplayer. I don't think Platinum and multiplayer really have gelled.
No,
Like,
no.
they tried.
No.
But it's like their repertoire clearly is just single player stuff, and that's just what.
Oh yeah.
Out of their whole library, that's just what I've enjoyed. And Bayonetta is still their peak thing. There are titles of theirs that have gotten close.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2, and I am still eagerly awaiting 3. I might talk about that next time. I mean, I don't know when I'll finish it, but I'm getting it day 1. Controversy aside. So yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, when the controversy first started, I considered getting it used secondhand, but
I would say hold off still, because I think even used, it's going to be a very similar price. Standard edition, thankfully, you can get for like, it's listed at 42 at the moment, so that's cheaper than like most launches. But I don't know about your region. Things may vary.
Yeah, I think it's slightly more expensive, and it takes a while to arrive.
The special edition I got, that was like 80, and I was fine with that because the book is big and you get some other stuff as well. Although I ended up getting a little more for postage because for some reason I was using like Game UK, and they took like I had like £5 worth of points. And I thought, oh great, I could just use that towards the postage. The site glitched out and it took away my points.
What?
So I just thought, fuck it. It was the only... Nintendo and Amazon were not stocking it, so I thought, okay, fuck it, I'll stick with this anyway. It's a £5 more. I think I can live.
Yeah.
It still sucked, though, because those are my points. I earn those points.
Yeah.
I know.
So,
but yeah. But as I say, good. Yeah, that's a good one. I do wish Nintendo would, like, drop their prices more, especially digitally, because they're still, like, full price on the eShop.
I mean, they kind of did. I mean, when it comes to, I don't know about digital, but when it comes to physical, they dropped Bayonetta 1 at half the price for the Switch. Physically.
Definitely for digital, yeah, it's like 24 for 1. I think 2 is still like full price. I think if you buy both, you get them a little bit cheaper.
No, if you buy both, you basically buy it's 60 if you buy both.
Yes, because
okay.
Bay 1, because Bay 1 in North America physically is $30.
Oh, okay.
There's that. So basically, it's like if you're in a situation where I am in, where I'm like, I had to play the Switch. I wanted the Switch version because of the extra costumes, and I really loved using the Link costume, mainly because of the counter.
Oh yes, the Link costume, great. Samus as well.
Oh yeah, which is funny thing is
I'm biased. I mean, I'm biased because I like Samus, but yes, Samus is also really good too.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, which
the
is
more full dodge roll, yeah.
yeah. Funny you mentioned Samus because in the Metroid Prime games, she was voiced by Jennifer Hale, who is voicing Bayonetta and Bayonetta 3.
Actually, it makes me wonder what Nintendo costumes, if any, will be in 3. That's what I'm wondering.
Probably Samus.
Oh, maybe Pauline's costume from Mario Odyssey. That's a good idea. The Mayor Pauline.
We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Hopefully there's some. The thing is, I have like the 2 Bayonetta amiibo, so maybe they'll unlock something. Like the one of the two. I wouldn't say that they were the hardest to get amiibos, but Bayonetta, like it's both versions of Bayonetta herself.
Yeah.
You don't see those in any local. I don't see those in any local shop at all.
You know, if there's any amiibos, I stopped collecting amiibo a while ago. But if I ever have to go back, I'll probably gotta pick the Snake and the Kazuya amiibos.
Well, see, since I missed the Wii U, I didn't have any Wii U. I didn't get any amiibos. Like, I had a 3DS, but I just didn't have really much for it, so I have no amiibos.
That's fun. Honestly,
have my Switch
I would say for any amiibo stuff that you're missing out on, plenty of sellers out there will make you custom cards.
Oh yeah,
with
I've heard of that.
NFC code.
Yeah,
and they'll work the same. But there is appeal in owning the figures. You know, I mean, I wasn't going to buy an expensive like $800 Bayonetta statue. No, I was happy with the tiny little amiibo. You know, I know Kamiya has one in his office, but of course he would.
Of course. Yeah.
But anyway, so I've summed it up there. Looking forward to 3 still, despite all the crap. It's unfortunate, but you know, hey, you know, I do hope, you know. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'd say it's up for the fans or the consumers. If you want to pick it used or new,
I still hope it sells well.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Like I said, Bayonetta needs a hit. Platinum Games needs a hit. Yes.
Well, but Bayonetta needs a hit as well.
Yeah. So
Platinum, yeah. It's like, no, a live service game died. Please buy our new one. Should make another Transformers game. Give me that.
Oh yeah, because I like Transformers Devastation, because that game has a lot of fan service for people who grew up with the G1 Transformers, the original 80s show.
Yes, and even as a standalone thing, it was very good. So yeah, more of that, less weird live service things. I mean, they could revive Anarchy Reigns if they were really strapped for cash, but I don't know if that's popular enough.
Oh hell yeah! Bring back the people who made the soundtrack.
Bring it back, yeah, bring it back.
With
it's
the
probably
soundtrack
going to be filled with microtransactions or some shit. I don't know.
Oh no, hell no! I hope they bring.
That'd be the worst case scenario. But like, I would say if they revived it and actually advertised it properly, because they never did. I mean, hell, even released Mad World again.
Oh yeah,
see how that does without.
I actually want to play Mad World so bad. You have no idea.
I would like.
It looks like so much fun.
I mean, it seems like a fun stream game because it's like the thing is, there's the checkpoints are horrible.
Yes.
That's the only criticism.
Yes, I played.
Checkpoints are bad. Damn.
Yeah, I played this. I played this game in 2019 because I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but during 2019, I went through a mini marathon of some of the Platinum Games games. Played the Bayonetta 1 and 2, Anarchy, Mad World, and Anarchy Reigns. And yeah, those were the first time I ever played those games, and I loved them. I liked them a lot. Made me a bigger fan of Platinum than I already was.
Yes. I think what else they did. Anyway, this is going to hold on a whole Platinum tirade, but at least it's relevant.
So yeah.
I will loop up with this. The fact that it's been in development for a while. 3.
Yeah, more than 5 years, I believe.
More than 5 years, yeah, like because it was teased ages back and then briefly had a trailer, disappeared again. I loved following the page of Bayonetta news where it was Jean and Bayo. They would suddenly get all like excited when they go like, oh, there is news.
Oh, the Twitter account. Yeah,
their Twitter account. Yes. So I will say, once it launches, we're not going to be seeing more of that.
Oh yeah. End of an era.
It's their page will be done. I'm sure I'm going to see the last tweet from them, but that should be pretty monumental. But yeah, I mean, regardless of how everything else turns out, I'm sure Hale will do a good job voice acting, and I still appreciate Helena Taylor. I still appreciate her work despite all the other crap going on.
Yes.
Yes. They both do great work. You know, it's just unfortunate circumstances. So
Yes.
there we go.
Yeah, I think Jennifer Hale will do a great job as Bayonetta.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Bayonetta 3. Probably I'll pick it up once I get the Switch versions of 1 and 2 and play them back to back. Then I'll probably gotta pick.
Absolutely,
Yeah, Bayonetta 3 is just gonna be one of those games I'm just gonna play at a later date.
Yeah, same.
Yes. No. I would
Then
say
again, I said the same thing about Metroid Dread, and I still have not gotten Metroid Dread, and I feel so bad.
I want to play that 3DS one beforehand. I own it.
I also do want to play the 3DS one because I skipped on that one too, and I'm like, it's hard to find now, and I'm like, God dang it.
56 was the cheapest I could get it for, but it still was worth it because, you know, eShop closed and all that. There's probably other options you could look into, but still, I don't really know much about that.
Anyway, final thoughts.
Yes, perfection of a game. I think, you know, it's the whole thing where game length doesn't matter. It's the quality of the journey. The fact, like, you know, you can start it on a train and finish it at home, and it's still the same great experience.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that there's a lot of replay value. I mean, like...
Absolutely. I think that's the benefit of making it portable. In fact, people are like, ew, why isn't it multi-platform? It's like, well, you know, it's kind of unique in that way. You know, just... You have this big bombastic thing on like a dinky little handheld.
I mean, there's the Steam Deck nowadays.
Oh, there is. Yeah, you can find a way around. You know, people have.
Yeah, the first game at least.
The first game, second through some methods possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, but even then, Switch.
No, play it on your Steam Deck.
Wait, a stream?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably possible. I don't know.
You know, considering my the nature of my current work right now, I probably gonna pick a Steam Deck one day, but we'll see.
At least you can buy them normally and not just have to pre-order.
Yeah, I believe you can buy them normally.
I've seen them traded in already.
We'll
like, did someone just like, you know, get their signed by Gabe Newell and just sell it to a shop? It's like, I feel bad.
Awesome.
But anyway, yeah, Bayonetta on Steam Deck. I want to see that. Anyway.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2. Yeah, I agree. It's a great game. Yeah, absolutely worth checking out, especially if you're into the hack and slash genre. Absolutely should play it. So, I guess those were our thoughts on the games we picked. Yeah, I think. Before we end this episode, there's gotta be a couple things we should do, not just one thing. And let's start. You know, plugging your links and stuff like that. Let's start with you, Otis. Where can we find you on the internet?
Okay, so several places. Mainly Twitter at my main name, MeleeMario720, and Otis Beard Draws, where I've actually been doing a monthly challenge at the moment. It's like I've been doing Halloween and spooky-ish themed drawings. Follow a prompt sheet called Oddtober on Otis Beard Draws.
Oh yeah, I saw the one where you draw Garfield as Dante.
Yeah, it was meant to be. It was like Garfield in something, so I picked Devil May Cry just because I thought, screw it. Anyway. I'm on Instagram, the same names. YouTube, MeleeMario720 and Otis Beard Draws. I haven't made a video in like several months, but like that's because like drawing and other stuff has taken up my main mind space. It's like, you know, video making's hard, even more so animation.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll see something from me there. And there's good old VHS for my VHS stuff whenever I get back to that, because that's capture card related. And last thing, I'm hoping to do more Twitch stuff soon. That's MeleeMario364. Don't ask me why there's a different number. I guess 720 was already taken.
The cool 720 was taken.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess that's about it for Otis. Let's move on to you, Gumshoe. I'm pretty sure you have. You
can find me at Gumshoe_gamer or Gumshoe gamer. If you just look it up, I'm usually like the first thing. Actually, I don't even think there is any other thing. I know that there's like another Gumshoe like on Twitter or something, but other than that, like just search up Gumshoe gamer, you'll find me on anything, really. But yes, I mainly stream on Twitch now. Full VTuber status and all that jazz. So if you want to come by, I stream pretty frequently. Do a lot of RPGs, a lot of Sonic, and
Of course.
kind of
Yeah.
whatever I feel like, too, which is kind of nice. But yeah. I was trying to think what's like the next big. I think the next big RPG I have planned, because I did Xenoblade 3 on stream.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think the next one I have planned is probably going to be Persona 5 Royal, because I promised that. Which I don't know how that's going to go. I'm going to play it on hard. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but that'll be interesting for sure.
Nice.
But yeah.
Oh. Any future plans for a karaoke stream?
Oh, that's gonna happen too on in November. Hold on, what am I on my notes? November 11th is the day that I'm planning to do that. That's as a celebration for hitting. I guess it might be a 500 follower celebration now. I'm close to that, so woo, who knows? But but yeah, way past due. So that'll be something.
Cool. Cool. So happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you, man. I remember when he first started as a regular streamer, and then he discovered VTubers, and then he became a PNG tuber, and then eventually evolved into your own VTuber. It was a great journey seeing your evolution. And yeah, I'm so happy for you. You know, being able to do Twitch streaming on a regular basis. That's great. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll try a PNG avatar or anything. Probably not anytime soon. As long as the stream functions and there's sound, audio, and visuals, and my aspect ratio isn't stretched, I'll be happy.
and
So I'll start off small.
yeah, you're probably gonna have to, save some money to get yourself a cute anime boy VTuber or something.
It won't even be that. I'll just draw something myself.
I know,
Yeah,
a cat or something.
Listen, artists. Yeah, I remember. Like, oh yeah, artists have that power. Oh boy, the power.
Probably just be a trash panda hiding in the corner.
Yeah, probably.
I love trash pandas.
Yes.
So yeah, normally this is the part where I just end the episode right here, but I'm gonna do some shameless plugging on my own right now. So yeah,
It's not really shameless if it's your own thing.
yeah, you probably So obviously you can find my videos on this channel, Serial K86. I'm a variety YouTuber. I make YouTube poops. I recently made a YouTube poop about Hololive called Holometh.
It's very good.
Yeah, thank you.
I had several laughs out of that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, because we're both Hololive fans. I thought, you have to check this out. And I occasionally make some mashups. And I do have a couple plans soon regarding YouTube poop and stuff like that. Soon-ish, probably sometime in November. But we'll see. And also, finally, something I've announced not long ago. I have my own what? I have my own Discord server now. It's called the Serial Connection. I've made an announcement video about it earlier this month. And if you want to share your interest about pop culture, internet culture stuff, video games, memes, YouTube poop, movies, videos, anything, any geeky stuff, you're more than welcome to join the connection. Just be nice, follow the rules, agree to them, and after that, if you agree to the rules, you're more than happy to join us. And mingle with other parts of the internet, especially people in my circle who are mostly YouTube poopers. So yeah. So yeah, I have this that's pretty much it. So yeah, before I end this episode, I wanted to bring this. I want to make this important announcement. I was originally gonna tell you guys about this, but I think I decided to hold it until until now. If you couldn't tell, behind the scenes we barely had time to schedule a date for us to join together and record this episode, because in the past, I originally made this show during the height of the pandemic in 2020, so I had plenty of free time, and between that and losing my previous job, this show was a lot more possible to make back then. I was making 5 episodes a year. And this is the 50th episode, so yeah, a perfectly well-rounded number. So yeah, considering my current life right now and the limited free time I have nowadays, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to announce that this show is coming to an end. This is the last episode of Backlog Banter. Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. This show was one of the best things I've ever made. I've ever made for this channel outside of YouTube poops. I didn't get a lot of audience for it. It doesn't get a lot of audience like my YouTube poops or even my mashups. But the main reason why this show kept going throughout these 2 years was the passion. I was really having fun recording these. Because I wanted to talk about video games and Twitter, writing it, talking about it in text form on Twitter it's not the same when you talk about it with friends. In audio form or in video, stuff like that. So, yeah, as much as I would love to continue this show, I'm afraid, the circumstances and what's going on with my life. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, end this show with this episode. So, for all the people, for all the guests that joined this show throughout its 2 years, whether it's you guys, Otis, Gumshoe, or Dark Sparkish, or Pallet, or a guy that loves pooping, or even Mixed Century who joined us in the previous episode. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. And
hey, no problem.
Yeah, I really had fun.
This was a lot of fun, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Like I said, having this show, talking about video games was the main reason, but there's also another reason, and that is overcoming my mic shyness. And I believe this show helped me a lot overcoming it. So, yeah, I don't regret making this show at all. It was fun while it lasted, and it really made me connect with a lot of people like you, more than just beyond Twitter, which is, I'm so glad this happened. So, I mean, would I ever bring this show back one day? Probably, but it's not a 100% guarantee. Maybe it'll be back in
unless you guys watching right now want it. Who knows in the future?
Maybe I'll bring it back in a special episode or something like that. But as an ongoing show, it's I don't see it happening anytime soon. So, how about this? Let's not consider this the end of Backlog Banter, but more of the end of Season 1 of Backlog Banter. So will there ever be a Season 2? Maybe not. Let's keep the door a little, keep this, we don't completely shut the door. But it's maybe it's gonna happen, maybe it's not, but we don't know. Like I said, I might bring the show as a special or something, but it's not gonna be a regular scheduled show like in the old days, I'm afraid. So, like I said, I'm just rambling and getting a little emotional. I'm sorry.
Fair.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, the people who joined the show in the previous episode, thank you so much for making this show the best, one of the best things that I ever had on this channel. It was great. We had a great time, and yeah, I hope maybe I'll for the server I plan on making for my server I plan on making audio channels, and we might plan on
yes.
Yeah, and we might do that in the future. We might plan.
Yeah, that's what Discord's all about. So
yeah, we might do special channels for the group playing together, like games like maybe Jack in the Box, Jack Games. What's it called? That
Jack in the Box. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
Jack in the Box.
Jack Box. Any of the similar clones out there? There's like a Riff Tracks one about movies.
Yes. Oh yeah, that one. But
absolutely. Yeah, no, this does not mean the end of any audio interaction. So hell yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I might make them for that other game, Garter Phone.
Oh, you should join the Discord. Link in description. Click here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna make special voice channels there for. What's the name of the game? Garter Phone. What's it called? Gartic. What's it called?
Garlic phone.
Yeah.
Another one. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that, and of course we can't skip this one. We're gonna do obviously a channel for Among Us. We have to do one for Among Us.
Huge mungus.
Huge mungus, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I've never played an Among Us session before, but I heard this is the kind of game that you have to experience with friends. And
well, I have a Steam copy, so if I want to reluctantly come back, then maybe I had a little fun while I was recording something for someone.
I mean,
so,
it's
in my Steam library. It's there.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's on Steam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might one day. Yeah, maybe one day I'll organize it. When you finally have voice channels for that stuff, maybe I'll organize a game station, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll have a highlight video of it. Maybe, who knows? Though
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, not sure if I'm gonna drop it on the main or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah. Yeah, like you said, this won't be the last time where you're gonna hear me in audio form. I mean, there's gonna be a video collab announcements and stuff like that coming in the near future. So, but yeah, this is pretty much the end of a chapter of my YouTube channel, the Backlog Banter, and yeah, I'm rambling for forever now. So, for probably the last time of this podcast, this is Serial K and his guests saying, make the best out of the excess and live your damn best. So long, everyone. Goodbye.
Cheerio.